Ew. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing good. Let's watch some stuff. We're gonna warm up with some basic shit to get us going. We've also got an actual new Mikey and Wyatt, not just a new upload of the already existing Friend Zone series. So we'll watch that when Neighbor Rooney gets on in here. And then we got some good Destiny stuff to watch later. So yeah,
Have you seen people's?
Let's get into it. We're gonna start with this from Charlie. Scientology speedruns and audits are amazing. This sounds fun.
Speedrunning the Scientology HQ?
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah.
Don't know why they're messing with them. They're scary. Don't they have a whole town in Florida they control? You're talking about Clearwater. Kind of. I'm starting to think maybe Scientologists aren't as scary as people led me to believe for like the first 30 years of my life. Because you got the TikTokers now.
Wow. You know what? Since we're only a few seconds into this, I don't mind pausing it to pop this up. What up? Brand new actual skit, not just an upload from the new season of Friend Zone. Here we go.
Well. Andrew.
My high school bully begged me for a job.
Hey, Mikey.
Boy, have I waited a long time for today.
You have?
Oh, yeah. Because today is the day that my high school bully has come to beg me for a job. Boy, is this sweet.
Mikey, I'm really sorry for how I treated you in high school.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Senior year, Mr. Seefeld's class. You and all the other cool football jocks thought it would be so cool to put a kick me sign on little old Mikey's back.
Mikey, come on. We were kids.
I was a kid. You were a bully. You even let the other nerds and the punter kick me.
Mikey, I'm not proud of that chapter of my life.
But oh, that's not where it ended, buddy. Do you remember? Because that was not enough for you football jocks. No. The kicks were just the appetizer. And the full course meal was the swirly that you gave me in the girls' bathroom in front of my crush, Claire Rice.
Mikey.
But then, like an angel from the gods, Mr. Seefeld walked into that bathroom, lifted my head from the toilet, ripped the kick me sign off my back, and do you remember what he said, Andrew?
Yeah, I do.
He said, Andrew Judge, you're gonna remember this day. Because you and all the other girls in this bathroom might think that this kid is
I saw that actually.
But one day, he's gonna be your boss.
Yeah, like I said, I remember.
And here
What
we
have you
are.
done to me?
The day has...
What'd you say, love?
What have you done to me? I need more chips.
Baby, you can have all the chips you want. Every single chip that you would like. You can have. These are the benefits of dating Donald Trump.
That does not check out.
the day where you come to me begging for a job,
You know what I mean.
oh, does it feel good?
Actually,
I won, Andrew. You lost, and guess what, pal? You are going to pay because I am your boss.
I'm your boss,
I'm
Mikey.
sorry. No.
I'm your boss.
What?
The company I own bought the company you work for, so
None for you, Glenn.
technically your
Coco.
boss now.
You're my boss.
Yeah.
No, but I'm supposed to be your boss.
You know, I see how this would have been a really nice moment for you.
It is a nice moment.
I can tell that you thought about this for a long time.
I haven't thought about this at all.
You have.
Now put this on your back, nerd. You work for me now.
Put that away, Mikey.
This isn't high school, buddy. You can't tell me what to do anymore.
I can, because I'm your boss. Remember? Thank you.
How'd you do it? How'd you pull it off? Did your rich daddy buy you a big company? Pathetic!
No. But that would have made it easier for you, wouldn't it have?
Yeah.
You see, after my All-American football career ended because I got hit by a car,
Oh my god.
Loser! Pathetic!
What'd you say, love?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'll let you have that
I'm
one.
sorry.
After I lost football, I lost everything. I mean, football was my life.
Yeah, it was, because you're a stupid, dumb jock. And now the real world's hit you like a ton of bricks.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Because you can't pay rent with touchdowns, can you, QB?
But then I figured out the real world.
What does that mean?
Well, I guess it means I started an international media company whose valuation is currently at $3 billion.
Billion?
I actually just found this out. A billion is 1,000 millions.
I know what a billion is. I was a math prodigy.
Oh yeah, you were on the math squad.
The Math Olympians. Don't act like you didn't know our name. We won states.
Yeah. But nobody knew that, right? Because the day of the math meet was
Go again.
on my birthday party, and everyone came to my birthday party. And
What'd you
said,
say?
Go again.
Oh.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
Mika,
Maybe.
Mika.
Maybe you won that day.
Go get it.
But look who's winning now, pal.
Lay
Because
down.
I'm your boss, you dumb jock.
No,
One of
I'm
these-
your boss. I'm gonna have
Muffin.
to ask you to stop with the name calling, buddy.
Yeah? What are you gonna do about it, meathead?
Oh, there's a lot of things I can do about
No,
it.
Mika.
Oh, yeah?
Muffin.
Knuckle nuts, what are you gonna do? Try to give me a swirly? Go ahead,
No,
try
Mika.
it.
Mikey,
Muffin,
I'm not
up.
gonna give you a swirly.
Because you
Swirly.
can't. Because
Hey.
you're powerless now.
No.
Go.
I'm your boss.
That's not yours.
So I'm actually more powerful than ever.
No, Mika.
Prove it.
For example, I can, I don't know, cut
That
your
is not
salary in half.
for you. That is for Muffin.
What do you make, 60K a year?
Yeah.
30.
Fuck.
Should I go
Dude.
lower?
She was a beast.
No, you
I'm gonna
I
have to
can.
stand
just
up.
got a mortgage on an apartment.
And I actually just did.
You can't do this.
No.
Mr. Seefeld said.
Mr. Seefeld was just a nice teacher.
He was a genius!
He wasn't.
He was, because he saw the future, bud.
He didn't. Because I'm your boss.
No. No, but
Mika is a
Mr.
beast.
Seefeld.
So you was a charity case.
A food
He was
beast.
just trying to make you feel better. That's all that was.
No, he liked me.
There was no fucking prophecy. He felt bad for you. Just like everyone else.
Mikey, bro, did you hear something about the company?
No, I do. Go back to work, please.
No way. Claire. Claire Rice.
Andrew Judge. Oh my God, it's been years.
No.
Has it? Because you look exactly the same.
No.
You look great too. Did you get more ripped?
Yeah, I like to stay in shape.
Just sphere shape, fatty.
You look like a fucking bowling ball.
Back off, Andrew. She works for me now.
Which means she works for me, buddy.
Wait, stop. You're the mysterious person who bought the company?
I did.
Oh my God.
And you know what, Claire? You could take the day off.
Thanks, Andrew. Coolest boss ever.
Yeah, I know. Mikey and Wyatt as well. I think they're all
You're still in
like.
love with her, aren't you?
I think everybody in the
In
show
love with
pretty much. Or,
Claire? No, I was never in love with Claire. Not in high
in
school.
all of these
You
is
are, you
named
pussy.
the same
Did
as
she even let
their,
you kiss her yet?
It's called playing the long game, jock.
Mikey,
That's
there is
their
no
actor.
long game. Watch this. Hey, Claire!
She can't be easily summoned.
Watch how fast she runs.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you want to go to dinner tonight?
No.
Yes.
No.
How about Strega at 9?
Okay, it's a date. Mikey, I am going on a date with quarterback Andrew Judge.
Why don't you get out of here and go get ready?
Mikey, I'm gonna have sex with him.
Wait, and Claire?
Yeah.
Save a kiss for me?
Yeah. I will.
Thanks.
Unless you want to just do it right now. No, I'm kidding. We'll save it for later.
Now be gone.
I hate you.
Mikey, come on. That's no way to talk to your boss.
You're not my boss. You're evil.
I thought I was a dumb jock.
You are. And you'll never make it in the real world.
So I'm not evil.
What?
Am I a dumb jock or am I evil? Because I can't be both, can I?
What?
Because to be evil, that would insinuate some form of premeditation and planning, right?
Enough riddles, nerd.
I'll help you, buddy. I'm evil.
Huh.
Do you think you were the only one affected by what Mr. Seafeld said that day? No. He motivated me. You see, he stood in front of that whole class and he said, Andrew, Mikey's gonna be your boss someday. I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to become your bitch. Especially after all these years of you being mine. You see, you waited around for what he said to come true, while I worked to prove him wrong. He made you feel better, but he motivated me. And now, I'm a fucking billionaire.
So this was your moment all along?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Seafeld. I failed you.
And Mikey?
What?
Put this on.
No.
Do you have tape?
Staple it to your fat fucking forehead.
Okay. Okay.
I hate you so fucking much, Mikey. No. I have waited so fucking long for this. And Claire, get in here. I'm ready for you. You're gonna watch.
Oh my god. That's so funny, dude.
Just running in there, causing a commotion. They're not getting fucking killed or anything. They're not getting sued into oblivion. Maybe the Scientologists just don't have that kind of motion anymore. Or maybe they never really did to begin with. Maybe Zeno didn't bless them with that power. They stalked the South Park creators for like a year. Well, they're not doing that to any of the TikTokers that are making a mockery of them. So I just don't think they've got that dog in them anymore. They're letting Hulkmania run wild in the Scientology hubs. Would you ever join Scientology? No, man. This shit is whack. You did just remind me, though, of Braille. Every now and then I think about Braille skateboarding and when Scientology gets mentioned. I was actually stunned when I first learned this, because this channel is how I learned to skate. I think everyone was shocked when this huge plot twist happened.
I agree.
He basically became a full-blown, high-ranking Scientologist and threw everything else in the shitter. It looks like he still tries to do skateboarding content every now and then, though. I thought he completely stopped. I guess not. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. That's why we got on the subject.
Online, and unlike many of the ones I cover, I can actually get behind this one. Scientology speedruns. A bunch of TikToks are going viral where these people will literally just run straight through the Scientology building and then see how far deep they can get into it before getting caught and kicked out. Typically, I'm not a fan of these pranks where people just throw those glasses on then bother people for views, but when it's Scientology, I think we can all agree they deserve it. Anyways, since so many of these videos are going
37
viral, that means
mil.
more and more people are going to try and do it, so I'm excited to see where this goes. Someone told one of the creators to get 30 people to do this with them, and I'm just waiting for that. I also want to see how far someone can go. What does the top floor of the Scientology building look like? Is it like Tom Cruise with a final boss health bar on him? I bet you will
It's an
find
alternate dimension. It's Xenu's throne. It's like where the 5 elders go to worship Emu. No one ever gets to the top floor of Scientology. A CERN gateway, yeah. Have Aaron join as a joke. We pitched that idea a couple times over the years. It's not a good joke. It just puts them in jeopardy. There's not even any fun content for it. It's just a bunch of fucking twerps and gullible people who got scammed. It's actually pretty sad. Like the average Scientologist that's just getting hosed. There's not even cool content to be made with it. You watch the Scientology audit on YouTube who just yells at random employees outside their HQ and tells other people not to go in it? No? What? Wow. Scientology audit, streets of LA. Damn, these views are crazy.
Inside. Inside.
What the fuck? No way, right? They actually have like a little device that beeps when an anti-Scientologist is roaming. That's some Metal Gear Solid shit with the question mark going over their head. Holy. No, it can't be real. It can't.
Oh, don't do it. It's a cult. That's a cult right there. This is
Ah!
Scientology. It's a cult.
Hell yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You know, this is a banger.
Oh, they just kicked him out. How you doing, sir? I'm a suppressive person. You might have to go inside now. Come on, inside, inside. Inside. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, they blurred the window. Good. Oh, you locked him out. Hey, you almost locked him out. Good boy. Good boy.
What the fuck? This is even goofier than I thought. What in the hell? Scientology stalker.
He took my knife and he pulled it on me.
Why do people keep
But
on
guess what?
Why do people keep on taking your knives?
Because of you. It's all a joke to you.
I think you made a fool of yourself.
But what isn't a
And in
joke
your
is
career-
I
in your
did.
career, You were unsuccessful.
I
You
did nearly
failed.
kill myself because of the PTSD
Oh my God,
you
you're
gave
crazy.
me.
You're crazy.
Because
Look at
of
him. He's
the
crazy. He's
PTSD
talking about,
you gave me.
guys, stay away from him. Joey's
Because
talking about killing himself.
you attacked
Joey,
me
can
with
you
your
stop
cell
talking
phone.
about killing yourself? Why are you talking
So
about
within
killing
an eighth
yourself?
of an inch of
This
my
guy,
fucking
watch out.
eye.
We got a crazy
And the only
person
reason
coming
I know that
through.
happened,
We got
I
a crazy
remember
person.
Is this even Scientology adjacent? What the hell just happened there? He got PTSD because the phone was near his face? The Scientology office? What the fuck?
You know. You two, both of you. You're gonna go. He's splitting up. He's leaving you. He's leaving you.
Get inside, quick!
What are you doing out here? What are you doing out here?
So is that like Scientology protocol when there's someone that's saying it's a scam, it's a cult, they have to just immediately silently leave?
Scatter like
That's like
roaches.
herding sheep. They legit shut down the entire building. They call them suppressive people. What the fuck?
They actually call them SPs. Their own little lingo.
Where's he
for
going?
it.
He's not retreating.
You
Oh yeah, he
over and
is.
show me your tummy. Such a good boy. Good boy back inside. Good boy's going back inside.
This is so interesting. I didn't know it was like this. So there's the warning system.
Remember him? That's you. That's you. All right. You look like you had a good life before this, man. You look like you had fun. You're a good-looking guy. And I know Ukraine is not in the best of places right now. How do you get on? It's the internet, man. I literally think he's gonna cry right now. I know he misses his life. He's a good-looking guy, right?
Probably, man. That seems like that was just a normal guy that got fucking roped into the cult. No way out. Damn. That shit's deep. Oh, of course I know about Scientology. I just didn't know about this protocol where they have to go inside. Go inside the second this guy comes around and says, "Loser, Scientology bad." Then they have to shut down the whole building and fog the windows. I didn't know that. What's the Defender video?
Oh man, we got another Scientologist grinning.
Take that phone and break it on the motherfucking concrete.
Is that a
Jesus
He's talking
Christ!
to, holy fuck, wait, this is new. This is big. This is big. He's breaking Scientology programming. You're gonna get a spanking. You are going to get a spanking. You can't do that. You need to retreat inside of the shelter ASAP so they can lock it down. This is not protocol. He's speaking.
threat? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? You know what you made? What you just did there is a criminal threat. That's a criminal threat. You go to jail for that. Yeah. Have a good day. Yeah.
I'm a criminal.
Yeah. Huh?
I'm the criminal.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you go ahead and break my, or you threaten to break my phone, that's called an assault. It's called the First Amendment. I have a right to.
Them or
You
no?
getting angry? Do you see any threats?
He's not threatening them
You
from
asking
anything I've
questions?
seen. He just says, "Boo, boo."
Did you know the same Scientology as an
Boo.
XJW?
You can do that.
Whoa!
Also, what just happened in this frame here?
Really, that they're
like a
precipice for
Snapchat
them to
filter's
cult. This guy's
malfunctioning.
helping. Yeah, I get
Too
that,
bad.
but
It's called
I
the First
didn't know
Amendment.
you were an
I look
XJW.
like in between frames in an
I have the
anime.
First Amendment right to speak out against a cult. If you want to defend
That's
a cult,
wild, bro.
knock yourself out.
Why don't you go
wanna
work
be
on
that-
your own life?
I'm working on.
I'm sure you haven't done
Why don't you-
shit
What are you doing?
for
Go-
yourself,
That's why
buddy.
you got the Band-Aid on your face.
Go.
You couldn't even afford a whole Band-Aid. You had to do a half of one. Who split your shit? Yeah, walk away. Oh man, we got.
This guy is not a full Scientologist. There's no way. He's Science curious. He's not. There's no way he's fully indoctrinated. He wouldn't have been speaking.
Wow.
He wouldn't have been allowed to speak. They would have already
Wow.
muted his vocal
Do you still get
folds.
the Watchtower?
Scientologist got, bro.
They got you, bro. They roped you in, bro. No, don't worry about it. But I don't see a book, so you didn't sell the book to him. No money.
Hell yeah.
Oh, she's.
Shipping it,
Good
huh?
for you,
Bro,
buddy.
they got you,
She
bro.
said. She
You
said
know
words.
it. They got you, you know. Yeah. Let me. Can I look at the questions? And how much do they charge you? See, Oxford capacities, right? They make it sound like it's part of Oxford University. It's not. It's just, why did it say Scientology capacity? So that's their personality test. They use that information against you. They told you you need help. And they told you we're going to need, buy the book for $75, take the seminar for $125, but you need them.
This guy knows his
Anytime you
shit.
go in there and take that test, they automatically say you need them. Always. It's a standard
Oh,
answer. It's a scam.
Jeez. Does that mean
How much money they get out of you?
so? Like, does your family still talk to you?
Ah, man, bro. They wouldn't let you go, right?
Okay,
How
that's
long were you in
good.
there?
Thank God.
They
dude.
got you, bro.
Damn. Well, it looks like he's not gonna be a member. Wow, this guy, he knows his shit. That guy was even saying they wouldn't let me go and they got $20 out of him. Saved his life, probably. Well, it seems like even before the Scientology audit guy started talking to him, it seemed like
Only
he
your
wasn't
mom.
really in it.
There's-
Like he said,
and
they
she
just
still
wouldn't let him
talks to
go.
you, right?
Honestly surprised you've never seen this guy. I had never even heard of it. I just know about the Scientology speedruns that are blowing up right now. I didn't know that there was a whole auditor forum here. His son is a Scientologist himself, so he
good.
spends his life doing this all day. He hates them. Oh, that's gotta be awful.
Well, Neighbor Rooney was a Jehovah's Witness, but it came up because we're watching the Scientology thing. So like, I'm just trying to understand the dynamic of growing up with one parent who was JW. Like, your other parent, your dad, had just nothing at all to do with it. How did that like affect the relationship between your parents? Like what's going on there? Know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's sad.
Never baptized.
Is that
or-
the actual lore behind this account? Because that is very sad, then. W fanfic if fake. Yeah, a good lie if you made it up, I suppose.
And they never had any like issues between them because of like, I mean, like JW is just so fucking crazy, you know? Okay. Because, like, you know, I guess it's the same with Scientology, too. But it feels like there's certain groups where it's like, you have to do this or you're gone, you know? Okay, that's really good. I'm glad to hear that. I definitely knew. I mean, growing up, like when I was in school in the States, you know, you always met like one or two JW kids. And they were always like, I can't watch Harry Potter, you know, I can't do this, and I can't do that, and you only ever saw them at school, and... Hey. Holy shit. Didn't get the media restrictions, thank goodness.
That just came out of nowhere.
Someone's feeling randy. Wasn't allowed to hang out with non-JWs? Wow, your dad was okay with that? We lived in the woods. Aurora had similar, not quite as intense, but Aurora, I mean, if you don't mind me,
About what?
how you grew up,
Oh.
because neighbor Uni was his mom was a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, and is also up in the PNW.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
it was just his mom. Yeah, no, she was Seventh-day Adventist. Yeah. I mean, Aurora, if you want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Another millennialist religion, yeah. Yeah, ask her about it.
This is from Oregon.
She'll tell you.
Man, I'm trying to take a road trip. Fuck.
Oh, let's all give a big round of applause to Aurora,
Uh-oh.
who just got a job offer.
No.
No?
Yeah,
not-
just in general.
We're not happy?
Well, we are, yeah. We're excited.
You don't want to talk about it?
It's secret.
It's what?
A secret.
Oh. Well, we still give props for that.
Yeah, we can. I appreciate that.
Yeah. We're very
I
proud.
feel like I'm legitimate again.
You were always legitimate, babe.
Thanks. for that.
Always.
Feels like I fell off a bit.
Legitimate. Fuck. So legitimate. Let me tell you, the most legitimate.
Hey, look at all that support.
California taxpayer.
Charlie, they stand outside with signs all day that say honk if you hate Scientology and stuff like that. There's a group of people that are anti-Scientology and tell people not to go in and get scammed. Hey, that's a good service. That's nice. Can't say I've seen any of that in Clearwater, which is like their hive. No, that's real. Check his second most popular video. His son died and the church mocked him for it. What the fuck? Scientologists mock my slain son. Scientology leadership ordered guard to bullbait me. Oh, that sounds truly evil.
Criminality died in the end. We should have been
been a better father.
Oh.
You really should have.
Yes, my son died. See, this is my son died because I'm a bad father.
He wouldn't be going around and getting himself.
Well, what are you talking about? A gunfight? My son didn't get in a gunfight.
So the Scientology security guard made up a few lies about my son that I don't appreciate. The first lie is that he claimed my son died in a gang war.
What the fuck?
The second claim is that my son
Dude,
died
Scientologists are
while
insane.
in a shootout. That's false.
This is
The third
extremely
claim is
sad.
Oh, thank you.
He died while committing criminality. That's false. And the fourth claim is that my son died because it was my fault for teaching him said criminality, which again is false. So let's actually look at the facts of the case. Okay, so first off, my son was murdered in June 2021 while he was in the process of moving. He was with his girlfriend moving from Inglewood to Signal Hill in Long Beach. On the way there, he stopped at a friend's house in Watts. When he got out of the car and waited for his friend, 3 gunmen pulled up, shot at him 40 times, and hit him 17 times.
That's just fucking tragic, man. That's
What the
extremely
hell?
sad. Classic Scientology, though, going for the lowest possible blow imaginable. I don't want to hear the rest of that. That's just really sad shit. You ever know anyone
And with like the
who's in
happy music
Scientology?
in the background too. Jeez.
No, I don't think you can
What a
know
weird
someone in Scientology.
juxtaposition.
They get fucking stuck in the church and live there and buried there. You never see them again. I don't think you can actually even really know someone in Scientology. Wrong, we know Tom Cruise. True, and Braille skateboarding. But those are higher ranking members, not average people. I think the average person in Scientology is supposed to practice isolation. So, like, I genuinely don't think you can just be friends with, like, a Scientologist. They won't let you. You can, but eventually they will recruit you or try. Well, that's probably once they reach a certain level in the cult. Like, I think your basic member is supposed to be...
It's just turkey dinner because it's on sale.
Others, so that way...
That's okay. We have a similar tradition in Judaism. Every Christmas, or AKA my birthday, Jews always get Chinese food because traditionally those are the only places open on Christmas.
They just get fully indoctrinated, suckling from the teat.
And I'm helping.
I'll help too.
The best I can.
Chinese steak.
Oh, I meant the unpacking.
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Of the cult. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be how it works.
Oh my god.
And then as you donate more and climb higher, then you can start, like, branching out. Yeah, I mean, I do hope... Hey, I'm no big fan of TikTok pranksters, but if they want to keep speedrunning Scientology, I'm all for it. This is a good prank. I like this.
So there's this
Disrupt
new trend
that
on
shit.
TikTok where people are speedrunning Scientology buildings in Los Angeles, trying to see how far they can get before being thrown out. The prank itself seems pretty weird and mostly harmless, but some of the clips actually look really cool, like professional parkour sequences straight out of a video game. So far,
That's awesome.
every attempt ends the same way, with people being quickly escorted out through a side fire exit on the ground floor.
Damn, you got a nice haircut.
So there.
Have you heard of the hole that Scientology has? Basically a prison for members?
That's when you start like noticing all the weird loopholes, like at what point do you go, maybe there's something wrong here? Like when you go to like ultra orthodox communities in Israel and stuff, they have these big lines like of thread around neighborhoods. So people can like cheat the work system and walk around, and somehow these little threads, if you like hold on to them or something, it's like a loophole. And I'm like, bro. Or like using an elevator. They have elevators that just go up and down to every floor during Shabbat, so that you don't have to press any buttons. And I'm just like, bro, like at what point do we look at ourselves and go, you know, maybe this is kind of stupid.
There with the whole, I know they have like a dungeon or something from what I recall.
Super JWs and oh man, you've talked to me about that, like being a bad Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like being branded that way. Neighbor Rooney's talking about that in Jehovah's Witnesses and in chat.
Yeah. Like you could come out of it, but
I've watched like a couple documentaries about JW, not as much as I've watched about Scientology. I know just about as much as there is to know about Scientology without being in it myself. I find it fucking fascinating.
Oh, you're in it, aren't you?
No, like morbid fascination.
That's how it starts.
It's like, you know, when you want to learn about cults and stuff, because it's weird and like fucked up and everything.
Oh, you can't look away.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it starts.
Explain Thetans. Thetans are, so they're sort of like the souls, the bad energy left over from all the frozen aliens that the evil alien Lord Xenu dropped into a volcano in Hawaii trillions of years ago. And basically what they do is they infect your body and cause you to do all the bad things and cause bad things to happen to you. And the whole thing about auditing, the thing they do when they have the little machine where they hold those two fucking cans, the 1/3 of a lie detector, right? Is they're supposed to, each auditing session, right, helps you get rid of a Thetan in your body. And eventually, you're supposed to get down to 0 Thetans, which is what they call clear. But what you don't know, of course, is that, there's like also special extra Thetans now when you get to the higher levels that you need to pay more money for. But yeah, that's what Thetans are. I have disfellowshipped siblings and you're not supposed to associate with them, but she does. What? Wait a minute. Why did they get disfellowshipped and you didn't get disfellowshipped? Huh? How come you didn't get disfellowshipped? Huh? What is this guy? I don't know. Oh, that's right, because you weren't baptized. Wow, so... Wow, that's crazy. Jesus Christ, dude. So, like, explain to me some of the beliefs and, like, tenets of Jehovah's Witnesses. Because I know they're, like, different from your standard brand Christianity. Afterlife, does JW practice circumcision? The afterlife is either eternal life on a paradise earth or atheist death. Pretty much the main difference. Wait, what do you mean? Like, I'm not sure I understand. They think it is. Like, they say heaven might not exist. I don't get it. Oh, so you either get to heaven or you just die, like you probably die. A certain amount of JW is saved, but they're all supposed to actively recruit. Is there not like a way to work your way there? What is the 144K? Alright, yeah, take your time.
Effect, is that the hole? Is that what it is? Now, do speed running into a prison. They're not going to jail for running around in the Scientology building. The most they do is get trespassed. A hole is a compound where they own a whole street and have 100 people confined. It's in California and has a wiki page. Damn, private compound near California. Dozens of its senior executives have been confined within the building for months or years. Holy.
Oh yeah, the fucking hole.
Like, this
dude.
is
That
all
shit's
like
crazy.
well known and just gets allowed to exist, by the way. Not only does it get allowed to exist, they get tax exemptions.
I can't wait for the day Scientology
Dave Chappelle did an interview with NPR, and the interview went viral. People were discussing some of the things he said in regards to trans folks, politics, his views on comedy, the Saudi festival, and I kind of wanted to do a breakdown. But before we discuss any of these, I think this conversation, especially when it relates to comedians and their quote-unquote perceived power, I think it always runs the same roadblock.
All suffering
So
is
I thought
Satan
it'd be great to
included,
just hear from
standard
Dave
Christianity
about
stuff,
what
yeah.
he says in this interview
I
in
mean,
regards to the
as far as I know.
idea that jokes are just jokes.
Some of that's in Judaism too, but not all of it.
Don't take them seriously, and so I'm not going to say anything.
One of the things that you said.
There's so many things that are happening in politics and whatever that are unprecedented. And you have to explain to a person, well, this is why this is unusual. This contextualization is what comedians do. We're like a nation's kidney. We help everyone metabolize not just facts, but feelings around facts or ideas, things I say on stage. But there's a lot of big ideas that people have feelings about, and there's no real context to conversate or rebut them. I'm not the biggest comedian, but my voice is sought after. The first time I can remember doing a big show in the Middle East, they gave me a list of all the things I wasn't supposed to address. So I took the list on stage, and that was the show. I just did the list. Don't talk about the royal family. Is that y'all? And I just made fun of them. Man, they were screaming. I'm backstage at a meet and greet, and there was all these young comedians from all over the Middle East. They were looking at me like I wouldn't even know that they'd know who I am. They couldn't believe I was there. They kept saying, "You just say that? You just say that stuff?" Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I never forgot that. I'm doing a show. There's a police officer killed a black person, and the black community asked me to cancel the show. We don't want artists to come. We want to boycott. Well,
Was that in Ohio? Was that in Cincinnati?
yeah, it was exactly
Was
what
it Cincinnati?
it was.
Yeah.
And I respected their wishes, but it's like, or we could have got together and talked about it, you know. And I like doing it, but I do that often. I was in Paris when they killed Alex Pretty, and man, I booked the show in Minneapolis right after they killed that guy. Like, man, they're gonna need talk about this. But you can console certain communities with your presence, or just acknowledging that you see them and that you heard with them.
Does that sound like just jokes when you're talking about I'm giving voice to these people. I'm helping console them. I'm helping them digest difficult ideas. You might believe jokes are just jokes. I don't believe comics believe that, vast majority of them. And I don't think Dave thinks that.
If you go to a comedy club somewhere in America, your feelings and thoughts are represented.
Because it's important, because every opinion that you could think of is championed in a room. I don't silence your champions. I'm not your champion, and I am someone else's. You can't silence the team that you don't like, but you do have the opportunity to go on after them, say your piece. Man, this has happened to me so many times in my career where a guy will say something, I'm like, oh, and I feel a way about it. You know, I don't think that they should be silenced, but I can't wait to go pull me up next.
Any important things, Barcode?
So if it's just jokes, why does he feel some type of way? I'm having people share a lot of Chappelle content with me. And when you pay attention to what they're sharing it for, the reasons are pretty clear. This was shot, what, 10 years ago? 17 years ago. Yeah. How old is 15 really?
Oh, okay. No. Go ahead. Lay it on me.
If I scroll down 17 years ago, okay, I'm going to just try to zoom in a little bit here. His ability to include real-life situations to educate his audience while being funny is just amazing to me. Dave Chappelle is an absolute master at discussing serious matters while disguising them as jokes. This is what separates him from so many of the run-of-the-mill comics. He weaved in half a dozen news stories and used them all to make a real point about how society has double standards, commented on strange priorities, news media. They inform people's views. Dave knows that. That's how he explains in the interview. But even in the way people interacted with a lot of his content, not all, but a lot of it was about the social commentary.
How?
Jokes can be used
How did
for
that
different things. It can
happen?
be used to help, heal, console, make people feel
How
included.
did that
and it can
fucking
also be used for
happen?
evil. Some of the most charismatic people who've done horrendous evils all over the world use humor, satire, different kinds of imagery that are funny
How can you
to
let
get their
this
political
happen?
messages across. Humor's power.
Jesus. When Armageddon comes, paradise, earth will be restored. Christ will reign over earth for 1,000 years, assisted by 144,000 people who reign with him in heaven. All those who died before and didn't get to know God, truth, will be resurrected from the dead. After the 1,000 years is up, Satan, who's locked away, will be unleashed to test their loyalty. Those who fail will face eternal destruction, atheist death. After that, it's immortality on a perfect earth with no suffering. That's sort of like, there's a little Mormon sprinkling in there, right? Because the Mormons believe that you have like your own planet if you go to heaven. Who knows? I want to know more. Yummy too. Earth will be perfect. There'll be no suffering in the 1,000-year period too. But the people are restoring the earth probably fed into the decision to cancel it. Well, yeah, obvious. I mean, like, seems pretty clear to me. Jeez.
Powerful. People pretending like it's neutral are deluding themselves. Donald Trump, in his rise to power, one of the big things that people said that they loved about him was how funny he was. And if he wasn't funny, I'll be honest with you, there's no chance he becomes president. Half the people I know who share Donald Trump content don't share it for its political points. They share it because it's fucking funny and base. And I want to play a clip for you guys.
There was an episode described, and it was never elucidated, that somebody on the crew laughed at a sketch you did, and you thought the laughter was on the wrong side of the humor. Do you recall what that was?
But this is exactly what he said on Oprah or some other show 15 years ago. I never forgot this because it really stuck with me.
I didn't know that. I remember. It just raised an interesting question to me, which I was already wrestling with in the first place. At that time, especially in my career, I always had the feeling could end any minute, so I err on the side of excess. And there's instances where you go too far. You're playing with powerful shit, doing jokes about racism and this ism and that ism. And to me, I looked at it as an occupational hazard, but I also realized like that I was bigger than I was comfortable with. I didn't trust the circumstances of the being that big or whatever.
What the person was laughing at that you felt, you diagnosed as being, oh, this is wrong.
Yeah, but more vividly, I just remember the feeling, the way it made me feel.
So you don't want to talk about?
I mean, it was so bad, I fucking quit the show.
I'm gonna just pause it there. What did you hear? Well, not only that, he said I was playing with powerful things, whether it be racism,
my dick,
all this other stuff, right? So when he's saying I'm playing with these powerful topics and I didn't like the way somebody laughed, it meant that he was covering things that he knew were difficult.
Yeah.
And the audience that was enjoying it the most on set bothered him so deeply, it was one of the reasons he left the show and walked away from $50 million.
No, it is Earth,
I almost said 50 million
Barco.
penis.
There's no heaven. It's that Earth becomes heaven.
That's crazy.
That's because I said my dick.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm
That's
understanding
crazy. 'Cause I
here.
want you to transpose that decision, and I think it helps to elucidate why some people look at him now. And people have been raising the issue, like, who's laughing at these jokes the most? Now, I'm not saying everybody laughing is bad, but it's just that you had an issue with it then. Do you have an issue with it now? And it sounds like he doesn't.
Watching the news is like taking a civics class. You know, I got all that flack for doing that festival in Saudi Arabia, but in Saudi, you know, I don't think that festival would have been legitimate if I wasn't there.
That they believe that the Saudis killed Jamal Khashoggi in the embassy in Turkey. And you knew that when you went, right?
Oh, absolutely. Now,
You
I
didn't have
should
any-
tell you,
You had no qualms?
I won't say that. They asked me to go years before that, and I said no for that very reason. Since that time, the United States government does business with the Saudis. Netflix does business with the Saudis. Everyone, the Saudis finance tons of movies. All these, I know, I see them financing boxing matches and all these things. And none of these things were an issue until I went there. And why is that? As soon as a black man can make money off the plantation, they're trying to tell you that the money is dirty. Well, okay, I'll go home and spend the money with actual slave owners on it.
I think nobody got more shit for doing the Saudi festival than Bill Burr. All the comics who went got a lot of negative press. So him saying it's about being black.
You know, if you want to be that pure about money, then stop driving your car, stop eating, don't use your cell phone. Everything is tethered to something that's just terrible. And I can make a million excuses or reasons to deprive that crowd of that show. But man, when I was standing in front of them, I feel like I did the right thing. Our governments are going to ruin everything for us. We'll never get to know each other if we just do everything that they want to do or function on the terms that they want us to function.
And I kind of understand what he's trying to say there. Tom changed a couple of things. And a similar situation happened to me, as a matter of fact, right? Where I refused to go to the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic because of their treatment of Haitians over there. And one day I had a wedding and I went there. And when I came back, some people was like, yeah, what's up, how you doing? Oh, not much. I came back from the DR. I had a wedding there, so I went there. You went to the DR? I'm like, yeah, I went to the DR. Ew, how could you? You know how they treat Haitians? And I'm like, yeah, but you go to France every summer. They stole money from us. They never gave it back. We have to pay them for our liberty. And you go to the States. The States in 1914 went in Haiti, and then they stole all the gold that we had, and then they come back. And then later on with the Clinton, they fucked us up. So it's like, for something it's okay, for some other things it's not. Where do we draw the line? I can understand where he's coming from. We're still paying them as a country, as Haiti. We're still paying them, and they are depleting our resources, right? But you're still going to chill there and enjoy the wine that you're dining. If you're not going there, whenever you go to the liquor store, I got some great wine or champagne. You love champagne. I know you love champagne. Where is champagne from? From France, the ones that are depleting that. So you're consuming the product. You always want to go to the States. They're one of the reasons why the country is in the state that it is now. But yet, you go to New York, you go to Boston, you go to Atlanta, you go to Miami, you chill there. As a Haitian, it's also weird. So now what do we do? Some people are still going to watch certain boxing matches. Some people are still going to watch certain MMA fights over there that's going on in Riyadh. They're not going to say anything. They're going to assume that. So, yeah, I'm like, where is the line actually?
Yeah, I mean, the line's where you need to put it. I don't know what other people decide to do and what's acceptable for them has to determine your own moral line.
I'm talking about where do we draw the line, because they are judging me upon my actions. They're asking questions and they're the one that are scolding me and stuff like that. So I'm asking that to them. Okay, so where do we draw the line? What's in your feet right now? Isn't that Nike? Yeah, Nike. They're not the best in terms of, child labor and stuff. You got an iPhone. We could play this game. Watch out when you point your finger at me, man. Threes are pointing back at you.
I think I disagree mostly because Dave has had the stance.
He claimed to be one of the 144. Wait, how many of them? Do we know how many of them have been picked?
So I'm like, oh, well, you had a moral standard. You thought it was repugnant. Nothing changed, and so you decided not to go, which is cool. Then you change that. Why? Because America does business with them. Because they do this with them. Okay, well then what happened to the moral value that you held independent of them? Because America been doing business with them since a long time. So what changed for you specifically? I think that would be the question. And I also think Dave made a lot of decisions independently of whatever industry he's in. Why? Because he was standing up for values or morals that he thought mattered. When Dave walked away from Comedy Central, the mainstream media called him crazy, but the people loved him for it because he took a stance that irrespective of other people taking the money or whatever it is, he decided to say no for an ideal that he held dear to himself. Respect. People who are OG fans of Dave, love Dave, remember that. So now they see him taking the money and, basically doing a government-funded event, and they feel a bit differently about it. I think that's a fair criticism. I think it's not enough to say, well, sneakers are built from this, like that's fine. But you have to understand we're holding you to the own standard that you set for yourself. That's all it is. You said no to the money because you didn't like how somebody was laughing on set.
Right.
There.
Right.
Big move.
What up, Cinderella?
Now you got a government that's doing a whole genocide of the Yemeni people. All right. Khashoggi. In fact, it was so repugnant to him, he said no to going. Now you change your mind. I think it's fair that people say, what happened to the values? Because people don't just subscribe to comics or these people for their jokes.
Right.
They also have a set of values that they're intertwined with.
Yep.
Where is this clean money?
It's true.
But you said you hesitated for years to go, the years you didn't go. So what made the difference for you?
Time and circumstance, time and the wheels of commerce kept turning.
And I think it's interesting too, because one of the reasons he said that he's okay with doing the show, what did he say? They're doing golf tournaments, they're doing NASCAR. So it turns out that their whitewashing of their reputation by laundering all these organizations works because it got Dave Chappelle to change his mind and then do the show. So that's why they're investing. When people ask why is the Saudi government doing this where they're putting so much money into golf and this? It's for this. It's so that they can have all this soft power and apply pressure culturally, financially to all these different things. In a way, he's helping to prop up their media strategy to help their PR.
The thing that happened is that, it's going to be a weird thing that I'm going to say.
Go for it.
But sometimes you can have certain values and a certain stance, right? And that's on what you see right here. And because of the angle that you choose, you can still have the same morals and the same stance on the subject that you're watching, but then the angle that changed made you see something else, that it was not what it was. And you're like, okay, yeah, it's not what I thought it was. Saudi, it's not a great place. Your angle changing like that. I live in a place where it's pretty much garbage. The way that they're treating our own citizens are not necessarily the great as well. So, fuck it.
I think you're making some false equivalencies.
Explain.
The Canadian government's not comparable to the Saudi government.
I was talking about the States, like you being in the States.
And sure, and if he ran to go do a Trump-sponsored comedy show, I'm pretty sure people would have issues with it.
Sure.
Yeah, he went and said, I want to do a comedy show for Israel. Make sure the idea of troops can get a laugh.
Yeah, people are going to have an issue.
Are we not allowed to criticize that either? I said, if you want to go to Saudi Arabia and do a comedy show run by the people, go ahead. I think it's just different when you do things on behalf of the state.
Hey, man, I gotta say, shout out to you, because usually you're the one playing devil's advocate.
Is it quiet?
And I just tried, and I am tired.
Is it hard to hear?
Articulates the rawness when the rest of the world is buttoned up. But what about when the rest of the world isn't buttoned up? And I just wonder if that changes things for you. You know what I'm saying?
And he's a bad example because he has a dismissive shorthand about people. Like a comedian who's up there talking, it's a way different type of interface than say being president of the United States, because
it's a totally different job. I credit that, but I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about not just the job, the actual interface, how we actually are communicating to people.
Well, say more.
Well, the presidency is the presidency. If you vote for the person or not, that's your president. This is an authority figure. This is the top law enforcement agent. He's the top, he's the executor of all of America's affairs. And I just have to move my crowd. You can opt out of my crowd. But you shouldn't have to leave America because the president's making the block too hot for you.
So he talks about Trump's influence and why he's not okay with what he does because of his influence specifically. And I can understand that. I don't think a comedian is the equivalent of the president of the United States, though people have lower standards for the president than anybody else on this planet. But, MAGA's for retards, so what do you want me to do with that?
What standards? No standards.
It's how we actually are communicating to people.
Well, say more.
Well, the presidency is the presidency. If you vote for the person or not, that's your president. This is an authority figure. This is the top law enforcement agent. He's the top, he's the executor of all of America's affairs. And I just have to move my crowd. You can opt out of my crowd. But you shouldn't have to leave America because the president's making the block too hot for you.
Okay, so just right there, I want y'all to contrast that with what you said on that interview with David Letterman, and just think you can just opt out. Well, people could just opt out of the Chappelle Show. People could have opted out a lot of things, but you still felt the need to take a stand, right? You felt a sense of responsibility because you were tackling these topics that were very difficult. And then at other times, you'll be like, you can opt out of my comedy show, sure, but you also recognize how influential you are. I just think sometimes, I understand the point, you're not the president. I don't think people are really trying to equate you to that. But to your own standard.
So and I did resent that the Republican Party ran on transgender jokes. I felt like they were doing a weaponized version of what I was doing. I didn't. It's not what I was doing. I'll give you an example. Yeah. This is before I learned the phrase "I respectfully decline," and I was on Capitol Hill, and everybody ran up to take pictures with me from every congressional office, and I just take pictures with whoever I asked. I didn't ask how they voted, what their voting record is. And everyone at first was like CDC people. And then here comes Lauren Boebert. And she said, can I get a picture? And I'd already taken 40 pictures. I didn't want to say no in front of everybody. But I didn't know the phrase, I respectfully decline. So I just took the picture. And then she posted a picture before I could even get from there to the show and said something to the effect of, just two people that know that it's just two genders. She instantly weaponized it or politicized it.
Did he care then who was laughing loudest? Right? What do you say? He said, I resent the fact that the Republican Party ran on transgender jokes, whose jokes do you think they were sharing the most? Who is the poster child for jokes on trans people? That's why Lauren Boebert took that picture with you. That's why that picture probably was very popular for her. Just two people who know, yeah, I'm not surprised.
And what do you say to people who feel that in some occasions you're punching down?
I'm not sick of it. I don't want to be dismissive to that sentiment, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me because so much of that was a media phenomenon. What was happening in actual life versus how the media was reporting on my show. And I feel like the way they reported on that show was rage baiting.
Do you feel like your jokes are misrepresented, or you think they're misrepresented for a purpose, which is to?
It's almost some reporting was as if they almost reported on it as
so
if I was doing something other than a comedy show.
I will agree with Dave that there was some unfair criticism levied towards him, and some people were wilding out. But him saying, they're almost pretending like it wasn't a comedy show. It's always this thing with comics where they go to downplaying themselves when it's convenient, and then in another breath, they'll say, me going to Saudi Arabia was so powerful for a lot of these people, they never heard someone being so outspoken. I needed to go to Minneapolis. Why? So we could talk, right? Because there are people in mourning, and it really mattered to me to be there for the community. We are the kidney of America. We help people digest difficult ideas. And then afterwards, they're just pretending like what I did wasn't a comedy show. They always do this thing. It's on one hand, everyone did this. Before the whole Trump backfire happened, all the comics were talking about how they're the new media, how they're the ones changing the landscape, they're getting the big interviews, and we're all like, great, you guys are very influential. And then after the whole thing backfired, we're just comics. We're just stupid guys telling jokes. It just feels so bitch-made to me sometimes, the way they interact with this concept. How do you guys
lighten up,
hear those two conflicting things and rationalize it?
I feel that we are the new media. I feel like as a comedian, we are. I feel like I am. Not because I want to be in that position. It's not because I have the arrogance of saying I'm the new media. You should listen to me. But people put me in that place because the media is doing a shitty job.
What's that?
I don't want that spot. I don't want to do that. I'm not putting myself there saying yo, relax, okay? I'm not reporting the news. I'm telling a story which is slightly distorted for funny purposes. But I feel like the way that people are treating comedians, sometimes they really treat it like it's the new media. But not because I put myself in that position. But
how did you not put yourself in the position?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're literally hitting record and talking on a mic and then doing news stories. Different stories. So
yes, 100%. But there's a level. I'm not bound by a certain certain professionalism rules or stuff like that. It's my morals. My morals are guiding how I'm going to be about a certain story, you know, whereas a journalist, they have certain rules to go by, which they sometimes don't, or they omit to do, or they bend the freaking rules. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they have a duty. When you're a journalist, you have a duty. This is interesting. Let me talk about that. That's where I don't put myself there. Yes, I kind of do the same thing because it's commentary, which is the difference. That's the difference. I comment on stuff, but I'm not journaling on stuff trying to be neutral, which what journalism is supposed to be neutral, where I'm just doing my comments and what I think about that.
I don't understand how you're not choosing to be new media. You haven't explained that. You understand there's a difference
new
between
media. What I mean by that is that people, what I feel when people say, "Oh, we're the new media," is that we're replacing journalism. And when we go up on stage to tell jokes, they take that shit as facts. And it's like, hey, it's entertainment. There is commentary. There is something that is political and charged, but I should not be replacing the media. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or do I need to?
Yeah, but you're also occupying watch time. You're occupying people's ears. You're feeding them the information. Whether you think you're choosing to occupy new media, the very nature of taking the action to report on these stories, you are the way that a lot of people get informed on stories.
Yes, but I want to remind them that it is commentary and not a
commentary. Even if you say it's commentary, first off, newspapers have commentary. Media news stations have commentary. In fact, there's whole sections where it's just like what editorials or whatever they're called. Yeah, that's what we do essentially, and we mingle facts and aspects of stories into it. Almost everyone I know who does the commentary space will cover a news story and literally read off a news report the same way other news agencies will read off of other news agencies' reports. So in a way, people are opting into this space consciously, informing the public, which is why the public returns, doing it so with a made of social personality. But it is the new way. How many times have people told me, like, I got informed from this social media page. I got informed from this page. In fact, you probably get most of your news from a different social media page. These are all people choosing to be the new media, quote unquote. I agree. I'm not saying you guys are necessarily journalists, but you do take on some of their roles. You fact check, you double check on certain things.
Like, why does it matter if it's a stake or a
credibility? People are not going to go watch me if I just fuck up or I just straight up lie.
Given the platform that you now have and the fact that people seek you out.
Last question.
Does that change your sense of responsibility for the work?
No.
No.
No. For my work, no. I mean, listen, I could personally say I don't want to. That's a tough question. There is a thing that happens when an artist gets bigger, that the platform gets bigger, that there's an expectation that you behave a certain way. And that's kind of the box that I fell for in Chappelle's show. Well, I didn't fall for it, but I was overwhelmed by that idea of, like, it's a lot of responsibility. But I've come to the understanding that you got to be true to your work. That's the job. And if that makes you big, so be it. But then you don't. But then what happens is you get big and then you start being true to being big. And that's a mistake. Stay true to your work. Say what you have to say. If being big informs me in such a way that I feel like I don't want to step on any ants or any blades of grass, I don't want to hurt anybody, then so be it. That's what I decide. But I have yet to make those types of decisions. I don't feel like anything I do is malicious or even harmful. And I think if I did hurt somebody with my work, boy, they would have been laid there at my feet. I'm just not doing that.
So I like that portion there because he says you start being true to being big and stop being true to your work. I think I understand what he's talking about. I think that relates to what I was just talking about before in regards to, do you want to be an artist and do you want to focus on that, or do you want to focus on how big you've gotten in terms of the platform, the reach, and how much influence you have? And a lot of people who get to that stage get a lot of pressure on them. You have so much influence, wield it for this cause, wield it for that cause, all these different things. I think if Dave had been this person he is now coming into it, I don't think there would have been much issue. I think people view Dave as a person who cared about how big he was. Pause. That's crazy. So when he walked away from the 50 million, people cared because he cared about how much influence he had. And now, and he still talks like he cares. He talks like, I'm going to Minneapolis because something happened. I care about my influence and how I can console people just to show up for them. Again, this feels like that flip-flop thing at times.
The platform that you now have and the fact that people seek you out, does that change your sense of responsibility for the work?
No.
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 Remove from execution.
For my work, no.
Having a cross
I mean, listen. I could personally say I don't want to. That's a tough question.
See, that's what I like, right there.
At least he thought about it.
You know, because I know some people would have been just being like, no, I'm just here to tell jokes. You can see the conflicting aspect. And look, this is not like some hatred of Dave. I'm a big fan. I love what he does, okay? And I actually think throughout this interview, watching Dave, I thought there was a lot of human aspects to him. There was a struggle that he's having with his own thoughts with some of these issues.
Just go to
and, you know, people just labeling him a flat-out sellout. I think you can strongly disagree. If you want to call him a sellout, that's your choice. Me, personally, I think it's interesting to watch somebody at that level of fame have to deal with some of these problems and make the choices I disagree with. But he didn't strike me as malicious. He didn't strike me as somebody who's just like dashing it away. That's not my interpretation. But I will say, I think a lot of the criticism towards him are valid. That's my interpretation so far. Yeah, what do you want to say?
I mean, I was about to ask you what does that mean for Dave, and what does that mean? What are you trying to highlight? I think that you're right about the fact that, you know, people have the right to question, and it's going to be that. I think it's extra difficult to be in that position because, oh man, being put on a pedestal, people have so high expectations of you and something necessarily that you didn't necessarily ask for. I just want to do comedy. Yeah, no, you can't. There's power behind what you're saying. Yeah, there's so many people following you that are watching what you're saying, so you can't just do comedy like you're an open micer. You're not.
Zoran when he was at 1%, and it's like, well, I didn't do that.
Sorry.
Going to war and maybe even joining Blackwater. Like, I feel like there's some red flags there, or having a totem cough tattoo. Just
some red flags there. I love how gentle they are with their side. There might be, there might be like, maybe like some red flag, maybe Blackwater, Nazi tattoo, maybe some black. Oh my God. Wait, has he laughed hysterically at like both, at every, was there another black candidate where he's like laughing at how stupid of a, Cory Booker, Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All these fascist forces in this country are
they believe the UN is a scarlet-colored wild beast
from the rooftops, and
UN
they chose the issue of Israel to attack.
That's
on,
really
which is
weird.
The most base.
Do you think he is gonna have like long-term vocal damage from trying to talk like this all the time?
I think it's vocal flat. It's a uniting position. They took a 90-10 issue and chose to be on the 10% side of this 90-10 issue.
Hasan Piker's name has been everywhere lately. Not for winning an election, not for passing legislation, not for doing anything really, except for yapping. And depending on who you ask, he's either one of the most dangerous voices in American politics or one of the most honest. Hasan is among one of the biggest voices on the American left. His megaphone is a Twitch stream where he spends about 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, breaking down political news to an audience that skews young and male. And if you listen to him long enough, you can see why. He's blunt, if not crass. He toes the line between relatable and aspirational.
Is this another fun piece? Yeah, of course.
Of course, he's controversial.
This is a thug. This is an extremist. This is an advocate for terrorism.
Which is why some factions of the Democratic Party have been beefing with him for the last few weeks, pointing to off-color comments he's made over the years. I sat down with Hasan Piker to talk about exactly that. We talked about why Fox News can't stop covering him, the ideological battles inside the Democratic Party, what he really thinks about Israel, and what, if anything, the Democrats could do.
What does he really think? Finally, the truth.
What
What does he really think about Israel? Thank God. I've been dying to know.
Were they smart enough not to put a timetable on when it's all supposed to start?
To earn his vote in 2028. This is my chat with Hasan Piker. Enjoy. Hasan Piker, thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. I'm a big fan of your work.
Oh, thank you.
Very excited to be on.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Do you think he times his interviews like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 8:57 a.m. so I'm ready for my interview at 9 o'clock a.m. Oh my God.
I do appreciate that. Well, I guess this is an interesting way to start, which is that you talk a lot, man. Like respectfully, right? You talk. It's the job. But I wonder, what do you think has contributed the most to your kind of current position in the national media spotlight? If I were to kind of give you a few options, I think obviously out of context, clip economy is an option here. Maybe you talk about Israel and Palestine and progressive things and conservative things. But what would you say has kind of put you at the center of the discourse?
I mean, it's hard to figure out exactly what is the highest offense because I have an anti-imperialist framework. I'm socialist. These are not exactly ideas that a lot of people are fond of hearing, especially, corporate-backed mainstream institutions. And then my position on Israel, of course, is also very frustrating for a lot of people. Of course. But I would say that the fact that I speak on a contentious format that is very interactive on polarizing issues from a perspective that is of the left, a perspective that many Americans are either unfamiliar with or taught to be antagonistic towards, combine all of that and you're going to have an inevitability.
Of course, inevitability.
I guess on a personal level, level, how are you processing like the onslaught of criticism? I mean, we'll get into the politics of it all in a bit, but I'm curious.
I love it. I seek out people who criticize me.
How you're doing personally. This isn't the first one, but this one's been maybe a bit different. Would you agree?
Yeah, but it's been different, not in a negative way. It's actually been quite positive. I don't find these last couple of weeks, I mean, I find it strange that it's been going on for the past couple of weeks. Nothing goes on for more than 4 days in America. In our current news cycle, this has been the most resilient thing. And I think it's partially because I'm live all the time. So I'm obviously going to give Fox News more ammo every single day, as they have been. They've been updating the RNC research department is constantly posting new clips of me every day. I even joked about it at the Yale Union last night, where I was like, today we're going to talk about the resolution and the American empire. And then tomorrow your grandparents are going to hear about it on Fox News, which is literally happening right now. So I guess that's a big part of it as well. Maybe some Republicans think this is a great opportunity to like tie someone that they consider to be radical to the Democratic Party. So they can attack the Democratic Party, and then there's plenty of right-wing forces in the Democratic Party. You also recognize that there's like an ideological battle within the party itself. The idea that we talk about with like big tent or, you know, who's in the tent and whatnot, all this stuff actually is a pretty basic spiritual fight that the Democrats have conducted, and the centrists have successfully defeated the left flank over and over again up until recently. That's the heart of it.
Could you name that spiritual fight? Like, what are the two sides of that fight?
Yeah, I mean, we saw probably the most visible version of this in 2016. It was Bernie Sanders versus Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was an establishment Democrat, very right-wing on many issues that pertain to the economy, right? Definitely socially progressive, but has switched that around as well. Much more malleable to right-wing forces, not coming at the issue from a place of consistent moral principles, but more so just like focus tested. The type of person that you think of when you say establishment, the type of person that you think of when you think about someone who's a spokesperson for a bank. And then on the other side, you had Bernie Sanders. Love him or hate him, he's honest, right? Like, this is what he believes. He's been fighting for the same exact battle for 80 plus years. He was earnest, sometimes too stubborn, sometimes came across as like a curmudgeon.
For 80 plus years? He's been fighting this battle since he was 2. How old is Bernie again? Based.
Same reason the Jews won't eat it.
But it's authentically him. And of course, ideologically, he's pro-worker, pro-labor unions, Medicare for all, college education, things like that. I mean, these were identifiable policies that people associate with him. Bernie Sanders was able to unite a lot of people, but more importantly, he was able to offer the language and maybe even begin the political journey for a lot of people. I mean, even including people like Zohran Mamdani, who openly admits like Bernie Sanders is what caused him to realize like, oh, maybe I'm a Democratic socialist. That was pretty big for the DSA. It was pretty big for, I think.
How many times do you think Hassan will bring up he talks to Zohran?
I talked to Mamdani. I'm getting the Abdul guy elected.
I'm sorry.
I know Bernie.
Western
AOC.
left, to a certain degree, definitely huge for the American left movement. And now we're seeing the fruits of that decade later.
I want to come back to the policy stuff in a bit, but I do want to hold on you here for another kind of beat. It feels like maybe there's an effort to cancel you, but I don't know how you're perceiving that. Do you feel, do you think there's an effort to cancel you, to deplatform you? And if so, why? If so, why not?
Cancellation, I don't think is real. I'll just say it.
It's easy to say that when you have no chance of ever getting banned or demonetized for anything. True.
I don't think it's real. I mean, sometimes I wish it was, because there's a lot of people I'm like, we shouldn't listen to this guy. And perhaps that's how Jake Tapper feels about me.
Anti-Israel, anti-Semitic. So why are so many Democrats doing campaign events with him?
I personally feel that way about, like, I don't know, 90% of the dudes I have to deal with in the space that I'm in. You know, the Andrew Tates, the Claviculars, the Sneekos of the world.
The people you have to deal with? You wouldn't talk to or debate any of these motherfuckers. What are you talking about? Oh my God. All those times he's had to deal with Sneeko and Clavicular. Oh my God. Kill me.
And that's why they think I'm a woke, scold, joy killer, annoying left person.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on. Chat really loves to bring this up because they have autism. That is correct. Hassan did have one 8-minute debate with Andrew Tate like 20 years ago. Correct. You guys, yes, that is right. Whether or not women should drive cars. So I'm so sorry. I know you guys love to bring that up for some fucking retarded fucking reason. But no, it was dragged onto a Twitch stream, I think, by fucking Aiden or somebody. No, he's never seriously argued with any of these fucking people.
And that's censorious.
Oh, or it might have been on XCC stream.
But those are the trenches I'm fighting in. I don't think it's
trenches I'm fighting in. Give me a fucking break. Holy shit.
I don't think especially in this day and age when there are so many different platforms that you can be on, you can claw yourself back to relevancy, as Nick Fuentes clearly did. I mean, he got hit with the full scope of deplatforming at a time when people were like, oh, that's a white nationalist, neo-Nazi. Like, we're not gonna. I mean, he's an open white nationalist.
Remember when you shut Andrew Tate the fuck down? I don't think I've ever gotten to debate Tate, have I?
Honestly, we're just not gonna put him on our platforms. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. And
on a Twitter space. Oh yeah, because he didn't know anything about any. I remember that.
Oh, I do remember
that. Was just a standard fucking retard conservative. I remember that.
Was neo-Nazi, like, with the full scope of deplatforming at a time when people were like, oh, that's a white nationalist, neo-Nazi. Like, we're not gonna. I mean, he's an open white nationalist. Honestly, we're just not gonna put him on our platforms. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. And cancel culture, on top of that, I think only works if your audience decides, like, if your people decide that you're not serious or you've done something worthy of cancellation. Like, the things that people want to cancel me over, quote unquote, cancel me over on, CNN are ridiculous. Like, that's why people.
Oh my God.
will listen to me. You know, they'll be like, oh, he's vulgar.
You have become an issue within the Democratic Party yourself. Tell us about that.
I don't think I'm necessarily an issue within the Democratic Party as much as I am an issue for a lot of consultants.
Yeah, I speak for 21,000. I've spoken on Twitch for 21,000 hours. And yes, I'm vulgar. I'm vulgar towards right-wingers. I'm vulgar towards reactionaries. I'm going to bully bullies. That's kind of the whole point of why people are watching.
Oh, the only issue that people have with Hassan is he's so mean to right-wingers. True.
Watching me. And then they'll be like, oh, he's vulgar towards people who defend Israel. It's like, yeah, I'm an anti-Zionist.
Oh, true.
Guess what? So is 90% of the party's base at this point. Maybe not to the same degree, but like people don't like Israel. So that's the second reason why I think this entire like Hassan is a danger, we must stay away from him narrative has been so funny, because like even from the start I had a lot of people calling me up. Two funny things happened. One, a bunch of politicians hit me up to be like, hey, I hope you're doing all right. I'm not going to review. A bunch of people in politics hit me up to be like, hey, I hope you're doing all right. I know things are, hectic, right? It's never great to be on the receiving end of this like barrage of hate. And I was like, I'm chill. Like, I'm cool.
Oh,
and they were like,
God.
what do you mean? I was like,
It doesn't
this
even
is great
affect
for me.
them, dude.
These guys don't even understand. This is a marketing campaign, pretty much. You got Fox News and corporate Democrats, AIPAC, ADL, Third Way, all of my enemies, all of the people whose politics I find to be repulsive, all these undemocratic forces in this country, all these fascist forces in this country are screaming from the rooftops. And they chose the issue of Israel to attack me on, which is the most like base uniting position. They took a 90-10 issue and chose to be
there
on
it is.
10%
There's the
side of the
90-10
90-10 issue. So yeah, they can yell at me every day, but it's going to backfire on them,
loves
which it did,
that.
which is why they then started trying to shift the narrative to Hassan is dangerous in many other different ways, ideologically dangerous in many other different ways, and also we should probably stop talking about him. He's just irrelevant. And it was like, well, we're on the fourth week now. Like, why are you still talking about me? Then yeah, I'm irrelevant. Give it up.
I find it genuinely interesting that two of the loudest anti-Zionist voices in American media right now are you and Tucker Carlson. It feels like you guys are almost like the most prominent, loudest, most consistent voices.
Oh my God, imagine comparing to Tucker Carlson
against Zionism and against what Israel is doing in the world.
That's
and
awesome.
What do you make of the rise of anti-Zionism on the right?
I wouldn't even say Tucker Carlson would call himself an anti-Zionist. Anti-Zionist? I don't even know what that means. He'd be like, I love Israel. You won't hear me say that, okay?
He
Like,
won't
let me tell
even
you,
let
from my
himself.
assessment,
He
a
want to
country
be
is not
like, you know,
always
I don't
representative
need
of
Tucker
every single
Carlson
individual in it,
call
but like our
himself
country
that.
can be representative
He
of an
just
ideology.
does
And Israel
not
has
want to be
evolved into its last
associated.
stage of fascism at this point. Tucker clearly doesn't feel that way. I think Tucker is a very dangerous propagandist. He has a higher priority for always pushing the platform of what I like to call WASP nationalism.
Does anybody really believe, any adult actually think that white racism is the biggest problem in America's inner cities?
We saw a version of his room reading and his capabilities of being that dangerous propagandist, like normalizing the Great Replacement theory and numerous other white supremacist talking points on the main stage, when all the way back in 2016, when he was the most popular Fox News broadcaster, the most popular news network in the country, he regularly talked about economic populism. He would talk about workers' rights.
Today it's McDonald's employees, tomorrow it will be millions of truck and taxi drivers with self-driving cars. Eventually it will be lawyers and physicians and so on. Will it ever be newspaper columnists and cable news anchors? We're praying not.
And then he would associate that agenda with legacy Americans, what his version of making white nationalism more palatable. Instead of saying like white Americans, he would say legacy Americans, because he can't say Native Americans, obviously. He's doing that with Israel, I think. That's my assessment. I can't know what's in his heart, because sometimes he will say things or he will do certain things. Like when he went to the Palestinian Children's Hospital in Qatar, I was like,
oh, that's a
I
nice,
think maybe
another
just might have
nice
changed him a little bit. Like he
loophole.
might be sincere in his advocacy on that
That's
issue
a handy
sometimes,
one in
but
case it's
I
all
still
true.
see him as a
I'm
dangerous
glad that one
propagandist,
exists.
for a repulsive, very toxic ideology that's ironically not dissimilar to the one demonstrated in Israel through Zionism. It's just there's a different in-group and a different out-group. That's the way I see Tucker's version of events. A lot of people get mad at me. I think he's even more popular than myself, certainly, and maybe even more popular at this stage on the issue of Israel as well.
You say that Israel is entering like its final stage of fascism. What do you mean by that?
Zionism, from its inception, has been an ideology that is an ethno-religious supremacist ideology. There's an in-group, there's an out-group dynamic.
It is crazy to me how many people just don't know anything about anything in the Middle East, and then he comes on to explain it to them. Holy fuck, this drives me crazy. Oh my God.
It's identical to other historic fascist movements. And at its inception, there was the Nakba, a lot of violence that took place leading up to the Nakba, and certainly during the Nakba in 47 and 48, where 750,000 indigenous Palestinians were expelled from their homes, ethnic cleansing, and they were never allowed to return back to their houses, right? That was an unbelievably violent event. And there have been times where Israel has spiritually continued that process, but Israel has maintained an apartheid for 80 years at this point, since the inception of Israel. And the apartheid practice is obviously racially discriminatory and devastating for the almost 15 million Palestinians that live all around the world, some of which are not allowed to return to the occupied territories, and some of which currently live under the oppressive Israeli apartheid state, half in the West Bank, occupied Palestinian territory, and half in Gaza, which is a hermetically sealed open-air prison.
Open-air prison, right.
Yeah. So
he got that.
That practice has been going on, whether Americans pay attention to it or not, and it's one that Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, many other figures have correctly pointed out as apartheid. These are people who have fought against apartheid in Africa, right?
This is a good place for me to then kind of actually double back, because I want to ask you about, like, why do you think Democrats have such a hard time accepting you, a person like you, into their ranks? I look at Graham Plattner, who, similar to you, has said some disagreeable, if not like outright awful, terrible, bad things in this past, or Jeff Duncan, who championed like legitimately awful policy in Georgia. And it appears that there's room for those people. Obviously, everyone's talking about Liz Cheney on the campaign trail with Vice President Kamala Harris. So there's space for those folks, but why not a person like you for some Democrats?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I think a lot of the people who hate me also hate Graham Plattner. So there are a lot of Democrats who also are like, don't vote for Graham Plattner. And even then, I feel like I don't have the same past as Graham Plattner. I mean, not his like Reddit posts. I don't care about that stuff. But I'm talking about like his experience, going to war and maybe even joining
Stop trying to make it
some red flags there, or having a totem cop tattoo.
Just
some red flags there. I love how gentle they are with their side. There might be, there might be like,
because they're like constantly updating it,
Nazi
right,
tattoo, maybe some like, oh my god, that's not good.
Small red flag.
There's stuff that I have also personally been like, that's an insane thing. I can't believe nobody stopped that or called you out for having a Nazi tattoo on your chest. But like, I actually do find Graham Plattner to be one of the most interesting candidates, and he is again another Bernie-crat, and I obviously have some sympathies for that, and I think that he is the perfect guy to prove something that we've been saying for many, many years, which is that you can actually take out a red state Republican senator or, purple state with left populism. And he's the proof, which is, I think, the real reason why a lot of people get mad at Graham Plattner. Because if Graham Plattner had that background as a machine gunner, had the totem cuff tattoo on his chest, but then was talking about sensible policy around healthcare, let's talk about affordability. Let's not talk about free healthcare. If he was like, saying, I will never take AIPAC funding, but Israel is our most valuable ally, not a single one of these Democratic Party consultants that have been freaking out about him would say a damn thing. Okay? They wouldn't. Same thing goes for me. The reason why a lot of people are yelling at me on the Democratic Party side is because of what I represent. They don't want to hear from people like me. They don't want to hear that people like me have a big audience. They don't want to hear that people like me are representative of large forces in the party. They don't want to hear that at all. They want to live in an echo chamber, live in a totally separate reality where Americans will forget about Israel. They won't talk about our relationship with this country. They won't talk about genocide, and they'll just vote for the Democrats for harm reduction reasons, right? It's very clear that that's what they wanted to do in 2024. It failed. I mean, you saw me at the DNC. I was running around telling them, don't do this. You're going to lose. Like, this is terrifying. You guys are celebrating for no reason. Like you're doing end zone dances, but it's not a guarantee at all. And by the final day of the DNC, when I heard Kamala Harris's speech, after I'd already gotten my press credentials revoked as well for some of the things that I was saying about the DNC.
It's still really interesting.
I heard Kamala Harris say, I'm going to oversee the most lethal military. I was like, this is so bad.
Oh my god, dude! This single quote, they obsess over it.
It's over. Like, this is going to be devastating, and it turned out to be true. Democrats want to go back to business as usual politics, where they don't have to be responsive, where they don't have to change their methods, because they want to keep collecting corporate donations. They don't want to do their jobs. They don't want to actually represent their constituents.
You got to adapt
they
with
just
the
want
times,
to be marginally better alternative to the growth of fascism in this country.
In a way, I think there's this sense out there that you are so against Democrats. So like, why do you even make an effort? Why do you even caucus with these folks? Why are you, trying to help certain Democrats get elected? Why not go out and do something totally different? That's kind of a Twitter kind of conversation, kind of criticism that I see of you. What's your response to that?
Well, you gotta go where the base is. In the United States of America, the overwhelming social base are they're self-identifying liberals. They might not actually be liberals when you dial in and figure out exactly the things that they would advocate for, the things that they would believe. I obviously, my perspective, it comes from a Marxist tradition. I see things from a class perspective, or at least a class-first perspective. Although there are certainly other elements, especially in American politics, that are very relevant, like race. Whether I like to admit it or not, most Americans are liberal. They self-identify as liberal, and this even includes Republicans as well. You have to talk to people with the language they understand if you want to mobilize them, if you want to make them a more productive social force, a force for change. And the Democratic Party is a much closer vehicle or a much closer agent for that change, even if it will never be a workers' party.
It reminds me of something that Angela Davis said during the 2024 election, which was that, you know, electing Kamala Harris would allow for more radical kind of organizing in the future. Is kind of the argument that she made for voting for Kamala Harris. And you said something that I want to kind of hold on, because out of all the things that, you know, you've kind of faced criticism for, the things that you've said, in my kind of corner of the internet, there are a couple of clips going around. I'm on the black corner of the internet, and a couple of clips are going around.
Layups, remember, layups. All the reason why you get to do interviews like this is because you're going to get the most sanitized, most cucked out version of criticisms that anybody's ever made of you, and then the person will present them in the gentlest way possible. They might even suggest, they'll try to downplay them. So earlier, when you brought up like, well, here's some criticisms I've heard of you, you know, Twitter criticisms, they give you the softest, most sanitized version of this, almost like a vaccine to let
like
you
where they
deal
pass
with
out
it
the pamphlets.
in this platform to say that you've already addressed it, and then your answers to these criticisms can be amplified and spread out further. The manufacturing here is just crazy.
Things that you said. In my kind of corner of the internet, there are a couple of clips going around. I'm on the black corner of the internet, and a couple of clips are going around of you being pretty dismissive to black folks kind of in your comment section. There's like the root.com kind of comment that you made, which was a completely unnecessary blow to the root. Come on, man. The root's doing good work.
Sometimes.
Like, this is like, come on, man. The root's doing good work, man, right? Wasn't that totally another? Come on, man. The root's are like, oh my God.
Root.com article regurgitators in here instantly being like, sweetie, you don't understand black people.
So, you said this thing at the end of your kind of rant about standpoint theory. And I think a common critique of leftists is that they can be a bit class reductionist and dismiss the race and racism kind of issues at play.
Oh my God. This is an actual decent question. Now, Hassan will not answer with any substance. Will he ask a follow-up? Let's find out.
In America, which you just touched on, and I want to know what your perspective is there, because there's a real critique out there. Hassan Piker is anti-black after those clips have played, and I want you to respond to
that. Such a. It seems like every single major religion proselytizes except for Judaism, and it's just not anything that we were like raised thinking about. So it's just like such a foreign concept to me.
Of course. So I'm not, but I understand why, as we talked about already, in short bursts, when you clip something, when I'm talking for 21,000.
Okay, we got our short bursts out of context. Okay.
Hours. Very easy to present me as something I'm not. The inception of this was, ironically enough, many, many years ago when I ratioed Nicki Minaj. That's when Black Twitter was like, fuck this guy. Can I curse on the show? I'm sorry.
Okay, so Black Twitter was just mad because you ratioed Nicki Minaj. That's all of Black Twitter. Okay, let's go.
You can curse. You're free. Be free.
Nicki Minaj famously talked about
am I not allowed to become a Jew?
Okay.
You are, but we don't proselytize. So you have to take the initiative, and it's like hard work. It takes a couple years. Rabbis are going to turn you away at least a couple times, but you can convert. But like you have to prove that you really want it, essentially. They don't just go out and be like, yeah, you become a Jew, just say this thing, or just, take a little bath in a puddle of water, There's a lot more to it.
We're going to poison the well on Nicki Minaj so that we can make our
That's true,
anti-black
Barcode. Specifically you, Mossad told me, cannot become Jewish.
response
Sorry,
to Nicki
buddy.
Minaj justified. Okay.
I tweeted something back, and I was like, the world is awaiting your scientific contributions, something like that. And I ratioed her, and I got the attention of the Barbs. And back then, they were a much more powerful force. Now the Barbs are in shambles. I feel like finally, as she totally leaned into the Trump administration and is doing whatever she's doing now, that discourse is now over. But at the time, Barbs were very mad at me because I was in the process of replying to her about her allegiance with Tucker Carlson, being like, Nicki Minaj, like, Tucker Carlson's a white supremacist.
I'll be a
and everybody got mad at me. They're like, this is a black woman. You're talking over a black woman. You think about
those
white
who
supremacist
dies
is.
without believing.
And there is
People who know the
this
truth,
reactionary
they get to skip the whole 1,000 years.
attitude that I think some
and
Americans
the extra
have,
challenge thing.
even
Nice.
Black Americans do.
It's like buying a
Obviously,
shark
they've
card in
experienced white supremacy.
GTA.
It's the primary anti-blackness is the primary form of hatred that persists and has become fairly sophisticated in the ways that it is demonstrated through every orifice of American existence, right? You don't have to just straight up say certain slurs or make certain comparisons, although...
Okay, so for people who didn't catch this, there was this, for underlying a lot of the, I don't actually read any of this shit, so I don't fucking know, okay? But in sociology, there's this thing that I only know about this because the far right people used to attack it all the time. It's called like standpoint epistemology, or sometimes people just call it like standpoint or whatever, or standpoint theory or something. And basically, I don't know if intersectionality came from this,
But I think it was the idea that you can analyze the way that a person engages with society through the different identities that that person has. And what a lot of people on the far right would argue about it is that, like, oh, well, standpoint epistemology means that you can say 1 + 1 = 3 if you're black. Haha. Like, that would be the way they would kind of dismiss it. So the host here brought up this question because Hassan was dismissing standpoint. The reason why Hassan doesn't like it is because Hassan wants to only analyze things through class.
That'll go a long way.
Because it's the one thing where he can be a proletariat.
Dude, I've been
and
loving all you guys in there.
But obviously he's not
That's
speaking
been
to
awesome.
that at all.
Cinderella,
I don't know
I
if the host
spy
even
you
knows
in
what
there
question he
too,
asked, or if
kicking
somebody writes
ass.
the questions for him, or if he's going to let Hassan get away with
love
it. But that was why he was asking, like, oh, well, you were very dismissive of standpoint. Like, what's the reason why? But I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, Trump will do it every now and then, like with the Barack and Michelle Obama AI video, without while still being able to get that message across that you are anti-black, right? Urban style individuals, the utilization of terms like thug, or even as Lee Atwater famously said, welfare, attacking certain policies in an effort to attack black people without ever mentioning black.
I'm gonna be honest. It sounds like a lot of work.
Are directly aligned with one another because anti-blackness, while the identification of it is on racial boundaries, the impact of it is still very much class violence.
See, he's trying to bring it back. He's basically saying, fuck your standpoint shit. It's all about class at the end of the day. But he has so much like jargon and word salad shit. I feel like he's workshopped these answers.
Right? Like, it turns back into a class issue at the end of the day. Black people are overwhelmingly a part of the working class. Ironically enough,
yeah.
In modern America, black people are also black people have the highest union participation rate amongst all of the different ethnic and racial groups in this country.
Is that true? Is there like a poll for that, or is there a way you can see that?
What did you say exactly?
Black people have the highest participation in union-related labor.
Oh, I have no idea.
Because they work in these jobs for the most part. So, like, the violence that black people experience, the targeting is racial, but the violence they experience is still class.
I accidentally made friends with Thanos. That's fine. All those guys are my friends. Just FYI.
So that's my broader.
But I also think,
as far as standpoint epistemology goes,
when it comes to politics, they're fucking nuts.
Oh my god! Never mind. No, I can't do it as a white person. Having like a sound clip that just plays the Uncle Ruckus music.
Oh, 1 second. Getting a call. All right, I'm back.
That'd be way too much. Never mind. Certainly he's going to push back on this or follow up on this to some extent, right?
One of the things that I've seen, and maybe I shouldn't be saying some of these things because
I'll be back.
I'm white, but
whoa, he shapeshifted. He's white today. He's not Middle Eastern.
Wait, I thought he's Muslim.
Or well, it just depends.
An Arab?
It depends. He's on his white game today.
Today is white.
There is anti-blackness in every aspect of American society, including in liberal commentary. And my criticisms of Root sometimes revolves around not identical, but somewhat similar versions of anti-blackness that I see and hear from Republicans.
Okay.
But that is maybe demonstrated in a more liberal adjacent way. And my common critique always is around the way that black men are portrayed in some liberal circles. Black men in general are still infinitely more progressive than white men are. Like, that's such a ridiculous thing.
Progressive? In what way? What? Hold on, somebody linked something. From the Bureau of Labor Statistics on page 2, bullet 4. Black workers remain more likely to be union members, 11.4%, than white workers at 9.9, Asian at 8.7, Hispanic at 8.9. What do they mainly do for work? In my mind, union jobs are like skilled trade labor things, which I guess I just imagine in my mind to be generally more often like white people. Oh, it doesn't say. Union nowadays means public sector. Are government jobs considered union? Are they generally union jobs? I don't know. I have no idea. Postal and UPS unions, trashman warehouses, etc. Okay.
And we see versions of this. We saw versions of this with even like Barack Obama coming out and saying, if you don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, black men, like, you might just be a little misogynistic. Like, what are you doing? And I thought that was also a ridiculous thing to say. Now, of course, I'm white. Barack Obama is black. And not only is he black, he was the president, right? So he's a profoundly important figure. So, and my common critique always is around the way that black men are portrayed in some liberal circles. Black men in general are still infinitely more progressive than white men are. Like,
Can I
that's
get
such a
you in as a
ridiculous thing.
Jew?
And we see versions
I mean,
of this,
I
we saw versions of this
can,
with even like Barack Obama coming
like,
out and saying, if you don't want to vote for
write a
Kamala Harris, black men, like,
recommendation
you might just
letter,
be
but
a
it's
little
gonna take
misogynistic,
a
like, what
couple
are you
years
doing?
of work.
You know, and I thought that was also a ridiculous thing to say. Now, of course, I'm white. Barack Obama is black. And not only is he black, he was the president.
Most
right?
rabbis
so he's a
are pretty
profoundly important figure.
chill, to be
So when I
honest.
say something like that, I think people hear that and go, you're way too confident, white boy, right?
Yeah,
you shouldn't be saying
it
things
takes
like that. So
it can take like up to a year to 2 years, depending on like how devout you're trying to be and like what kind of synagogue you're trying to convert through. Anyone can do it. No, I'm just goofing with the letter of recommendation. Anyone can do it, but it takes a lot of work, like, and they will try to dissuade you.
There have been instances like that where my advocacy or the things that I talk about will rub people the wrong way. I understand that.
I think people who watch your stream, they'll see folks like Olay or FD, Signifier, and others on your stream and kind of can see that there's something more nuanced happening here. I'll say as well.
And the layup. Oh, dude. Fuck. We can analyze so many of these interviews. The layup, it's the easy question, already kind of massaging the answer, no critical pushback, accepting the answer without any kind of follow-ups at all, and then like giving even more credence afterwards, like, Jesus.
Well, I'm not here to defend the root.com. I think they're in black ownership for the first time in a while.
I'm not here to defend the root.com. Even though his opening question to this was, come on, the root, they do good work, don't they? Okay.
Shout out to Ashley Allison. I want to do something fun because we're kind of coming to a close here. And so I want to play a little bit of a game with you, Hassan. If you're game, I'll tell you the game. I'm going to give you it's a bit of a rapid fire 2028 candidates, okay?
All right, let's do it.
I'm going to give you a name and you'll say yes or no. Like we'll go down the list, all right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First name, Rahm Emanuel.
No, but also it sucks because he said he would come on the show. He was like defending me. And not that I want him to come on the show, but no, definitely no.
Gavin Newsom.
No.
JD Vance.
No. Absolutely no. So wait, is this who I'm voting for in 2028? Like what
You
is
die
this?
for
Okay, let me tell you, based on what you know about them today, would you vote for these people in 2028?
Oh my God. No, JD Vance. No, I will never vote for a Republican ever.
No.
Gretchen Whitmer.
Maybe. Now we're getting into more comfortable waters. She's too anti-Medicare for all.
There you go.
She's like,
yeah. All of these people that they're pretending to like because they're popular, I'll eat every horrible solid in my house. I will eat my sink, my fridge, or whatever. If somebody like Hassan were to support somebody like Ossoff running for president, it'll never happen. Unless Ossoff literally joins like the fucking Jewish Voices for Peace or whatever the fuck, then it'll never, ever happen.
She's linked to the private healthcare industry, but better than others. Definitely more responsive as a governor. But I'm 50-50.
All right, AOC.
Yes.
Resurrection must
Cory
be
Booker.
consensual.
No, absolutely not.
Jesus. Yeah.
On Ossoff.
Interesting candidate, maybe.
There we go. There's the hedge. He was more excited about him in the past, but now that Ossoff is getting a little bit more popular, now we are hedging a little bit. There, good job. Good job. There you go.
Kamala Harris.
Oh God. No.
Pete Buttigieg.
No.
Like, it's so funny how optically retarded it's. Oh my God! I did not go ruckus music. Wait, has he laughed hysterically at like both at every? Was there another black candidate where he's like laughing at how stupid of a Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Tucker Carlson? No. Jesus Christ. Oh, good. Never mind.
I mean, I guess while we're here, actually, we're talking about candidates. You live in California. Who are you thinking about for the governor there? I mean, we have a few folks. It's been a bit of an upheaval lately. I mean, we could play the same game. I could give you a couple of names.
Oh, do it. Do the one that they seem to like right now, because it's just so fucking ironic. He won't do it, though.
Names you can tell me yes, no, maybe give a little bit of an explanation.
I pre-watched this. He's going to say Steyer. He won't say Steyer, though, because he went on a stream, didn't he? The billionaire guy, who's, by the way, whose sole issue in 2020 was climate change.
So let's start. Katie Porter.
No. Katie Porter was a very interesting candidate. Obviously, like she was able to take over a purple district and was making a name for herself. She had the whiteboard. She would cook all of these like executives. And then even before we found out about like her anger issues, the thing that I care about the most.
Yeah, that's standard.
Is she not anti-Israel enough for him?
Top of that, because that tells me what your character is. But what I also care about on top of that is like what forces you're going to represent, who you're going to back, and her rapid change from being someone who was like somewhat pro-worker, responsive politics, potentially a Bernie-crat, right, has shifted. She became anti-worker, and I find that to be very...
Katie Porter? She's the one who would, not to be mean, but would virtue signal all the time in Congress with the things that she would hold up, whatever, right? Yeah, she's like mega, like no offense, but like retard tier progressive when it comes to like fine.
What'd you get, love?
Chocolate.
Babe.
What?
I had chocolate for you.
Well, I didn't mean to. get it on the store thing. Just through I thought it was just regular Amazon.
Oh, but I have chocolate for you. I always have chocolate for you.
Of course, I'm just doubling.
Sorry. I think you need it right now. Yeah.
I'm dying.
I can tell, but we'll talk about it. Stream. I'll make sure you're feeling good.
I'm good. But yeah. It's so pretty out there.
Don't you tell me you're good when you're not good. I don't want
So
to hear
pretty
it.
out there.
How dare you? I can see through the blinds, actually. Oh, yeah, chat. Let's give lots of hugs to Aurora.
No, I want your hatred.
Let's give lots of hatred
Yes.
to Aurora. She's feeling very Aubrey Plaza right now.
How dare you?
No, I dare.
I don't need to make of all that.
Don't you?
Forget about me.
Don't you? Ba-dum, forget about me. Don't you? Ba-dum, forget about me.
Wow.
Yeah, Aubrey is the bomb. Bro, I am tired of this weird tourist may not disembark from the vessel. Back off. This weird issue that it has with like certain transfer modules, it does not like to open them up. I have to go EVA first. Is there a door here? There's gotta be a door, right? Is there for real no fucking door on this? That seems weird. Wait.
What's up?
Bro, are you stupid right now? Valentina, get your shit together. You're gonna break shit. Okay. Here we go.
How dare
you? How dare she? She's flopping around in space. Jumping into shit. She needs to give her balls a tug. Yeah.
I would prefer not.
Why? She's being a tit fucker.
That's fair.
What?
It's fair.
Oh. Why is it obstructed? This is obstructed. Hatch status open. Okay. So transfer. Here come the main differences. Otherwise, pretty much Protestant. Yeah.
Finance and stocks.
Isn't that like every Protestant?
Didn't you have a pharmaceutical company
sect, though?
that made $1 billion? Doesn't that mean you fucking hate America and want to
Few
be?
things.
Hassan doesn't like
Other
that
than
woman.
that, they're
What did
pretty
she
much
do?
Protestant.
Jesus.
Someone who was like somewhat pro-worker, pro responsive politics, potentially a Bernie-crat, right? Has shifted. She became anti-worker, and I find that to be a very dangerous type of politics. So definitely no on Katie Porter.
What about the people's billionaire Tom Steyer?
So I talked to Tom Steyer. I interviewed him, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think he's the most interesting.
Oh my God, the billionaire! It's like the same shit that happened on the fucking Republican side. They wanted an everyman who represented the average conservative, and they go with Donald Trump, a crazy fucking billionaire real estate guy from New York City, and now we've...
Yeah, but he went on his stream.
Holy shit.
He talked to him. He kissed the ring, man.
It's so boring. Oh, it's so stupid and empty and hollow. All of these people's politics. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, if Gavin Newsom would have talked to him, he would have loved him too.
Right now in this race, I even before Swalwell's sexual assault allegations came up, and he had to quit the race and also resign from office. Those were like the top three candidates, right? You had Swalwell, you had Porter, and you had Steyer on like the Democrat camp, and then you have Bianco and Hilton, right? The two Republicans. And I was genuinely terrified. I was talking to some other folks that also live in California. We were trying to figure out, like, what are we going to do here, right? It's such a ridiculous situation that we're in, where we can have, because California has the top two primary systems, jungle primary, so we could have a potential general race where the top two candidates were both going to be Republican. Now, obviously, Trump fixed that for us, so shouts out to him. He, endorsed one over the other, and then that causes a lot of the Republicans to lean into one, and then also the Swalwell stuff came out. But yeah, I think Steyer, I can't believe I'm saying this, is probably a little bit more responsive than the rest of the candidates are. And I mean, there's another guy in California that I'm backing as well. His name is Shoykat Chakrabarti, and he's a centimillionaire, right? He's been in this game for a very long time.
Original founder was a
Democrats,
Zionist.
AOC's first chief of staff, right? So he had.
AI is going to revolutionize medicine, and it may at some point make FDA even irrelevant. And it's going to give us the capacity to develop new drugs, personalized medicine for every citizen. I just was reading about a dog that had cancer.
He's an Adventist.
His owner used AI to develop a personalized treatment that cured the cancer. We're going to see that now in medicine, across medicine, and we're very excited about it. AI is very dangerous.
An Adventist started
also has the capacity to bring
Jehovah's
really
Witnesses.
great things to humanity, particularly in the realm of human health.
All right, thank you very much. Next question.
AI is going to revolutionize medicine, and it may at some point make FDA even irrelevant. And it's going to give us the capacity to develop new drugs, personalized medicine for every citizen. I just was reading about a dog that had cancer.
There was a schism after he died.
And his owner used AI to develop a personalized treatment that cured the cancer.
What'd you say, my love?
That just means that everybody else hasn't witnessed Jehovah.
True.
So, yeah.
Cancer.
Guess we're missing out.
We're going to see that now in medicine, across medicine, and we're very excited about it. AI is very dangerous potentially, but also
nobody trusts you to do this. Like,
things to humanity,
if actual doctors and researchers were using it, I would trust them. But when your dumb raccoon penis cutting ass is up there saying it, I don't trust it for shit. Oh, I saw that clip. I saw that clip, Barcode, where he's like, rough. I wonder, can I weld some shit together? Let's see. Oh, can't do it. Gotta be an engineer. Can I weld these? No, these are not weldable. What about this?
No.
This guy. Oh. Did you say no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whatever you want, mother.
Wow.
Yeah. That's right. This guy was the second key figure who developed the religion to what it is today after the schism. Joseph Franklin Rutherford. Oh, look at that. He's got James Woods lips.
That sounds very inappropriate.
Wait, they're even more distinct than his. Who am I thinking of? Those are very distinct features. Whose lips look like that? I know I'm thinking of somebody.
I know.
Who?
Obama.
No. Not Obama. Oh, I'm so close. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Who is it? I can...
Ugly little bird.
I feel like comedy actor. Comedy actor, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Such a distinct feature.
Put it back.
Wet ass P word.
Right.
Who is it? Fucking hell, this is killing me.
Oh. What is he in?
If I could remember that, I would know who it was. Oh! I think I got it. Hugh John Delancey. I think, or that's close.
Chocolate consumed.
He's Q in Star Trek. Yeah, I think it's him. There might be someone else too. But yeah, very similar. Okay. It was a weird tangent. Really weird little tangent I just went on. Okay.
Millionaire? What did he say?
Really,
Does that mean you have 100? Is that 100 millionaire at least? When did this term become? I feel like this is the second I've heard this. Centimillionaire?
One and then also the Swallow stuff came out. But yeah, I think Steyer, I can't believe I'm saying this, is probably a little bit more responsive than the rest of the candidates are. And I mean, there's another guy in California that I'm backing as well. His name is Shoykat Chakrabarty, and he's a centimillionaire, right? He's been in this game for a
I
very long
highly
time. He's
doubt that, Kurt BTW. I'm guessing that's probably a bot.
He has to differentiate because he's a millionaire.
Oh my god, bro. Are we gonna get to the low B billionaire? He's a lowercase b billionaire. He's a 1 billion. For some men get really mad when you put this on Twitter. But anytime a person says, oh, I think it's because a woman made the tweet. When a guy says he makes 6 figures, that means he makes 115K or less. Yeah. It's always 6 figure. All right, you make 102K. Okay, 6 figure. Yeah. Now it's gonna be like, oh, he's a mini billionaire. He's just barely a billionaire, like 1 to 2 billion net worth.
He's
Barely.
not like Bezos,
barely.
you know?
Yeah, he's not like a.
He's
not a deci billionaire or a deca billionaire. You know.
That's AOC's first chief of staff, right? So he has
Yeah,
really solid politics. They have a think tank. They write like incredible policy papers. But what I have realized, maybe this is code, is that all of those guys that we're voting for on the Democratic Party side, the establishment Democrats, they represent the interests of billionaires and millionaires regardless, even if they themselves are not billionaires or millionaires. So in the case of Tom Steyer, if he's advocating for single-payer healthcare in the state of California,
I don't know.
That's
Is it a new one or an old one?
Myself, I
Wait,
care about the policies and not the background of the person. So yeah, I think Tom Steyer could be a very interesting governor for the state.
Okay, last one, Xavier Becerra.
So I'm not super familiar with him, because if you haven't reached like a certain level of viability, because there's the Ramsey Robinson as well, who's supposed to be like the California PSL candidate. There's Butch Ware, the Green Party candidate as well. And these guys are unfortunately having a very hard time making it out that 1%. A lot of people get mad at me for not like highlighting certain candidates, and I'm like, I don't have a magic wand, right? Like,
I don't know these guys.
Make it happen. People will be like, well, what about Zoran? Like, you interviewed Zoran when he was at 1%, and it's like, well, I didn't do that.
Sorry,
right? Like, I can't make it happen. People will be like, well, what about Zoran? Like, you interviewed Zoran when he was at 1%, and it's like, well, I didn't do that on my own.
Sounds
like,
so
maybe Third Way
focus
thinks that, and they're terrified, right? But that's not the case. Like, Zoran is a very he's a generational politician. He's very charismatic, but more importantly than that, he had the backing of the DSA New York Machine Working Families Party in a city that is that has worked tirelessly to create this door knocking operation in a city that was much more open-minded to Zoran's worldview. It's entirely different than the California governor's race. I didn't do that for Zoran. I couldn't do that for any candidate really, and it's not up to me at all. So I try to make these pragmatic choices. So it's a long way of answering your question that I don't know enough about Xavier.
Okay, last one. You've been consistently critical of Democrats. What will it take for Democrats to win over Hassan Piker?
Oof, so much. I think they have to
earn
the trust of not only people like myself, but just of the American people. They have to become a party that truly represents the interests of masses, truly represents the interests of the working class. They have to have.
You don't know what that means.
1,000 Zorans and
you don't know what it means to
people
represent the
that work
working
in their own
class.
specific districts in their own states that are still almost single-mindedly and very stubbornly fighting to express the desires of the masses, fighting to improve their lives materially, and communicating that to as many people as possible to ensure that no Republican ever wins another election ever again.
Wow.
Hassan Piker, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Holy fuck.
That's his friend, Steven.
Okay. So before my new question, I do want to have a follow-up to that question.
Someone's at the door with a package.
The fact that 8,000 people was the casualty count in Gaza?
No.
No?
You don't think that's interesting?
I guess my guess is he just doesn't follow a lot of Israel-Palestine news.
Can't be?
It can't be.
It's an Amazon guy.
What is wrong with them today?
I don't know. I think that's for you, though.
No. Come together.
Okay.
Can they get in?
Yeah, I just unlocked. This one actually used the intercom, so I was able to
Thanks.
unlock it. Yeah.
The light is gone now.
Pardon?
Ooh.
Oh, I have a parcel pending with a code. Get to use the locker to go get it. No, I'll get it. You don't have to do anything.
That's incredibly kind.
Video is 34 minutes of the thing you sent me. Oh.
I know. You think they're gonna?
Fuck. It's gonna piss me off.
Ban me?
They should throw you in jail.
Can I not?
But I
picture and picture this?
I didn't feel bad about it at all.
Fuck you, New York Times. Fuck you. Give me Inspector. Oh, there we go. Okay. Fair. Ugh. I'm just trying to open it in another window.
I'm proposing a new term, micro-looting.
I started going into the grocery store, I would pick up the thing that I wanted, and then I would go.
It's us.
Looks like they scrubbed the call. The CDN call from the forward-facing one.
Rifle tech.
All right. What'd you say, man?
Nothing. Nothing of value.
Oh. What? I don't
That's
believe
messed
that.
up.
You say too many things of value for me to believe that.
Oh my.
I forgot 4 lemons, and on several occasions I was like, I'm just gonna go back. I forgot 4 lemons, and on several occasions I was like, I'm just gonna go back, grab those 4 lemons, and get the hell out. And
You should go to prison.
I know. You think they're gonna ban me?
They should
They're gonna ban me?
throw you in jail.
But I didn't feel bad about it at all.
I'm proposing
This is just
a new
so
term.
gross, dude. Like
Micro.
already, this is so gross. All of you stupid fat fucks can afford to buy every single one of those things you're stealing to get back at the man. There are people who steal because they can't survive. And you dumbasses are making it like a little fun hobby because your corporate fucking lives are so boring that you have to feel like, oh, the world is so terrible, I'm gonna steal a fucking lemon. Fuck these people, dude. Fuck these people. These are fucking yuppies. These are exactly the kind of people that George Carlin would talk about as being pieces of shit when he would talk about the pieces of shit on the left. It's exactly these fucking people. Oh, God.
I started going into the grocery store. I would pick up the thing that I wanted, and then I would go.
It's a survival technique. Got it?
None of these people have ever had to, like, live a difficult day in their life where they didn't know where their food was going to come from. Every one of these people is a fucking LARPer. It's so annoying.
You're paying for that, right?
No, babe. Food is a human right.
People are taking small things.
I guarantee you that guy could easily, that guy who goes, no, babe, food is a human right, is not somebody who's hurting for food, who needs it to be a human right. All of these fucking people are fake ass LARPers, dude. I hate these people. Ugh.
Haley.
I'm so glad that our lemon tree finally grew
Me too.
and sprouted fruitful lemony lemons.
I know, me too. I mean, imagine, we can make lemonade, key lemon pie, lemon meringue pie.
I think it's the most valuable property that we have.
I do agree. I think we should go to the bank and get a loan. Actually, I think we should just get lemon tree insurance.
I think you're right.
And then get a loan and use the lemon tree as collateral because it is now insured. I truly do love our lemon tree.
Just imagine a life full of lemon trees.
I know, and all our beautiful lemons.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities. They're so beautiful.
I wish I was a lemon.
You wish you were a lemon? If you were a lemon, I would put you on my shelf and cherish you like I cherish all our lemons.
That's so beautiful.
I try.
So I only hope that the whores aren't stealing our lemons. You know, those naughty whores always steal lemons.
We do have a couple lemon whores in this community.
Those damn lemon-stealing whores.
Because no one will take our prized lemons from us.
Hey, has it been about 10 seconds since we looked at our lemon tree?
It has been about 10 seconds till we looked at a lemon tree.
Hey, what the fuck?
It's a...
Wow. Hang on.
Try that again.
Homemade almond milk. Water, almonds, lemons.
Lemons!
Can I get a Will Sasso?
Right, because I don't even know where Baniac lives. Make a left on Citrus Avenue, brother. Citrus.
Will can't make it.
Which one? The TV show with Klugman and Randall?
No, the movie with Matthew and Lemon.
Everything you need to make a super fun Vine. iPad Hulk Hogan, Robert De Niro wig, and oh no! I want to delete my last Vine. This is all it is. Yeah. Oh, I feel this.
Classic.
You do that bullshit.
Oh, classic.
From big corporations, and they're feeling
Back to this garbage.
justified.
Like, look, everyone's
feeling
shoplifting from Whole Foods when you're shopping there.
You're not gonna steal from a deli like that. But Whole Foods, fuck Whole Foods. Fuck Bezos, fuck Amazon, all that.
We should be rioting, but we're tired, so I'm gonna take these bagels.
But is it a slip?
Bro, you see what I mean? Fuck these people. Fuck these people. God damn, dude. What a bunch of losers.
Freaking morons.
Seriously.
Slippery slope.
No, not you, Siri. Fuck off.
To find out, I'm talking to political commentator Hassan Piker and New Yorker writer Gia Tolentino. Thank you both so much for being here with me today to talk about this. Hi, Gia.
Hi.
Hi, Hassan.
Hi.
I want to start with a little exercise just about our own morals. Would you share your Netflix password?
I do.
I also do. Well,
with anyone.
For the longest time.
If that is not the most perfect representation of exactly what I'm fucking saying, I don't know what else is. Literally, the first fucking question that they asked proves my point, I think, better than anything I've said so far. Yeah. Fuck these people, dude. Fuck these people. Would you share your Netflix password?
I actually had someone else's Netflix password. That was my primary access to Netflix.
And now you share your own?
Yeah.
Would you get around a paywall on an article you're trying to read?
Dude,
they're making it worse, dude. They're literally just making it worse.
Every day on my stream.
Yes,
Every
and
day.
I support it when people do it for my own work. I say, go off. Use the Wayback Machine.
Would you
And they're
pirate
giggling.
music from an indie?
They're giggling like it's so funny. We're such a rebel.
Band.
Is it 2005 and
yeah,
I'm using LimeWire?
Barcode, I know
Because
what you
yes.
mean.
I feel like every millennial has at some point done this.
I feel like fundamentally Spotify is kind of like deleterious to the musician livelihood, and I use that. But then I go to the shows.
Yeah, no, I'm pro piracy all the way. Like across the board. Would you pirate a car? Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
I know, but like the fact that they're saying that to be like, what are your morals? Do you share your Netflix password? Do you not pay for shit? And it's just like when you're trying so hard to be in touch with the working class while showing how out of touch you are with the working class. I'll tell you what, when it comes to what people are paying for in their day-to-day, it's not a question whether they're going to bypass the paywalls. Of course they're going to bypass the paywalls. They're having to think about affording food and childcare and their house and their car and their insurance. And all of you retards are giggling about, we're bypassing a paywall.
No, if you could, if
What
one could
pirate a car?
It was just a classic thing back in the day. Where they'd be like, the government funded anti-piracy initiatives would be like, dude, would you steal a car? I'm like, yeah, sure. If I could get away with it, if it was as easy as pirating IP, I would do it. Yeah.
Would you dine and dash from your local diner?
Never. Tip 35%. Mike's, come on.
No, I wouldn't do that. And if I saw somebody doing that, I'd probably pay for their meal.
Yeah. Would you steal a book from the library?
Never.
It's still
no
more benign things, but I mean the fact that that's what they went to, Neighborhood. Do you understand what I'm saying? It shows how out of touch and clueless these people actually are from the actual people who are struggling day to day. Yeah. Like the benign theft would be like, if your neighbor is really hungry, would you steal a piece of bread for them or something like that?
Would you?
I think would be a more in touch way to ask those questions.
I would not be logistically capable of executing such a fact, but would I cheer on every news story of people that I see doing it? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's cool. We gotta get back to cool crimes like that, like bank robberies, right? Stealing stealing priceless artifacts, things of that nature. I feel like that's way cooler than the 7,000th new cryptocurrency scheme that people are engaging in.
Mm-hmm. Would you steal from Whole Foods?
You want to go first?
Look at them. Look at, like, it's just a fucking joke. It's just a hot... Bro, I do not know how much of this I can take. Neighboruni. I genuinely don't know how much of this I can actually take. I'm already feeling sick to my stomach. These people are gross.
And I have, under very specific circumstances, I think that stealing from a big box store, I'll just state my platform. It's neither very significant as a moral wrong, nor is it significant in any way as protest or direct action. But I did steal from Whole Foods on several occasions, like... I've been involved in like a neighborhood mutual aid group since 2021. And so every week I would go get groceries for Miss Nancy, my now family friend who lived nearby, and she wanted to go to Whole Foods. She wanted food from Whole Foods. So I was like, okay, great. And so I'd be getting Miss Nancy all her groceries, and then I would finish and I'd be like, oh my God, 4 lemons. I forgot 4 lemons. And on several occasions I was like, I'm just gonna go back, grab those 4 lemons and get the hell out. And
you should go to prison.
I know. You think they're gonna ban me?
They should throw you in jail.
But I didn't feel bad about it at all.
Bro. Nobody's losing their mind over the occasional, oh, I forgot something, I'm just gonna grab it and sneak out. You shouldn't do it, but it's not the biggest fucking deal, Sasan. You going, you should go to prison, is obviously what Neighborhoody was pointing out, your attempt at minimalizing a certain type of activity. So when it gets less benign and more extreme, you can be like, oh, well, see, we don't believe that you should go to, you shouldn't go to prison for that, right? Just a little bit, and then soon, we're burning Waymos.
And was part of it because of how you feel about Whole Foods as a corporation?
Yes, Mika, exactly.
Yeah, it already felt like a bit of a compromise. Like at the time, I was like, I had not been to Whole Foods. I had a bit more sort of consumer discipline about where I was spending my money then. And I already felt like I was in the hole even by shopping there. And it certainly felt in a utilitarian sense. I was like, this is not a big deal.
Well,
right, guys?
I'm pro stealing from big corporations because they steal quite a bit more from their own workers. However, one thing that might even help your ethical dilemma is the fact that the automated process that they design, these companies know will increase shrink, right? So it's actually factored in. The lemons that you stole are factored into the bottom line of these mega corporations regardless, and they still end up having increased profit margins because they no longer have to pay the cashiers that they used to hire as opposed to this automated system.
Let's really see if he puts his money where his mouth is. Let's really fucking see, bro. Because if he's an actual commie and he loses out on all that merch that he paid for, he should realistically be like, oh, it's material wealth. I don't care about it. Oh, hoorah. Blah, 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 blah.
Knowing full well that people are still going to...
Karl Marx said, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Noam Chomsky, blah, blah, blah.
To be able to still steal a lot more efficiently, as a matter of fact, through the automated process.
Totally. Well, I was looking things like, and shrinkage is roughly equal internally as externally. Like they expect it from their employees that they are sort of disenfranchising constantly.
Yeah.
But what about the argument that if everyone just starts stealing wantonly from these self-checkout machines, Whole Foods will eventually raise the prices?
Yeah, chaos, full chaos. Let's go. I mean, look, I'm in favor of fast and free buses and also government-owned storefronts. And, 2 of those policies, the mayor of this beautiful city is currently working on.
Would you encourage stealing in the same way from a Mamdani-run city-owned grocery store?
It's just crazy how they're talking about this. And you can hear the little grins and laughs on their faces. The tone of voice that they have is probably the part that's really bothering me the most. Where it's just it's like, you know, would you maybe, it sounds like they're asking like, would you like, you know, have a drink at your lunch break maybe once in a while on the job? You'd have a drink.
Prices and why?
I would not, because I feel like that's taxpayer funded, and the prices are this union labor, and the prices are also adjusted regardless.
I think that hypothetical is interesting, right? Because if you look at it from a categorical imperative type thing, what if everybody did this? You know, the converse is like, oh, what if every major grocery chain stole from workers and consumers? And that is basically true, right? Like, it's interesting. Like, I think it speaks to the thing where a kind of harm committed by the individual strangely continually draws more ire than the same harm being committed by a structure. And so, I mean, I kind of am inclined towards this. It's like, everyone try it, see what happens.
Yeah. Well, by the way, ironically enough, I don't personally do it. I never do it. When I was younger, I stole some Pokemon cards from a friend, and my father punished me, and it was such a harrowing experience that I literally can't even steal like a candy bar. When we were in college, a lot of my friends used to love doing that. You know, getting drunk, going to the gas station, 5-finger discount. I would never participate in it, and I still can't to this day participate in it. I'm just saying that I personally don't really care. If someone needs the food, they should absolutely steal it.
There's one thing that's like stealing when you're a teenager and you want the adrenaline rush, and part of it is about testing the rules and getting away with something. But I feel like what I'm seeing on TikTok and social media is people saying that they're stealing from Whole Foods, not just for the thrill of it, but out of a feeling of anger and moral justification, because the rich don't play by the rules. So why should I? And Jeff Bezos has too much money. He's a billionaire. So why should I have to pay for organic avocados? My friends and I have started calling this micro-looting because it has a like slight political valence to the theft as opposed to just the thrill of getting away with something. I
hate this.
Have you noticed this around you online? Have you noticed more people talking about stealing in this way?
I mean, I have not seen people talking about micro-looting or such, you know, whatever action that this is online, but I think, I mean, it kind of speaks to an attenuation of the tactical language of direct action. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if it's like, it doesn't work for me as a form of direct action because it's concealed, right? Like any successful direct action in history has to be ostentatious, has to make itself known, is ideally collective. And this is sort of necessarily individual and hidden. But I'm like, oh, great. Let's think of ways to, like, let's take this energy and let's move it into some other thing. Like, I think it's great that the valence of property is kind of on the table as something to be toyed with in terms of direct action. I feel like we've forgotten there's a long and storied history of sabotage and sort of engagement with property destruction even, which is abhorrent to people. I mean, you remember in 2020, the like Gucci, Chanel stuff in Soho when that was looted.
Well, NYPD is investigating a robbery pattern targeting high-end clothing boutiques in Soho. Latest happening Tuesday at the Chanel on Spring Street.
That looms so much larger in many sort of Bloomberg liberals' imaginations.
They
as
all
profoundly
want
more
to
violent
LARP
in
as
some ways than
revolutionary so bad. And like, none of them have ever seen what that actually looks like. That's the thing. None of these people have actually seen what that fucking looks like. And if any one of them were actually in one of those situations, they'd curl up and cower in a corner like a little bitch. They want to LARP so bad, but they have no idea what they're actually asking for.
original action being protested, right? And I find that really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the Boston Tea Party as part of like, that's a political destruction of.
You see what I mean? Bruh. The Boston Tea Party, like, people got injured and it led to a revolution, a war where a lot of people fucking died. Okay? You're tripping.
Property, and yet right now it feels like, I agree with you, the looting around the 2020 protests was such a huge talking point. It made people so uncomfortable. And I'm curious why, like, what do you think the root of that is?
I was thinking, you know, that thieves are actually quite highly valorized in narrative, you know? I mean, Aladdin, famously.
Robin Hood.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
I
Jean
want you to
Valjean.
commit the revolution on my behalf, peasants type shit.
We understand it's well within the collective consciousness that stealing for need or purpose, you know, it's something that we understand and feel quite friendly towards. And I think if someone were, let's say, walking out of Whole Foods with an IKEA bag of whatever and giving it to the people, you know, sheltering underneath the scaffolding at the jail going up in Brooklyn next door, you know, like, I think most people would agree that, you know, like if someone were to be stealing with a purpose, we love that in America. We do. We can love it again. We just have to do it with a purpose.
I was reading a Pew Research poll about Americans' morality, and it basically was just like, well, we didn't even ask about the obviously immoral things like theft. We only asked about like having an affair. And I was like, but I feel like part of what I'm seeing around me is that people feel like the laws are immoral. The rich don't play by the rules. We live in a society where there are billionaires, where the top 1% holds 32% of the net worth and the bottom 50% holds 2.5%. So at some point, if the laws don't feel moral, do you start to question your own sense of having to abide by them?
Of course.
Yeah. I wanted to work off of a point that you were making. This was also something that was addressed in a previous New York Times podcast that I did with Ross Douthat, where I brought up the concept of adventurism. In the Marxist tradition, adventurism is the action that is oftentimes decentralized. Oftentimes anarchists will say this is the propaganda of the deed. The action itself, no matter how violent or how disruptive it is justifiable because the disruption is the point. I believe in the power of organized labor and labor militancy and building these structures of power so that we can actually make more effective change, more long-standing change. So concepts such as micro-looting indicate that there is an energy there, just like you said, and yet many Americans, I think, are totally oblivious to this political language. They lack the political education. They lack the class consciousness to recognize their position in society, and lack the capacity, unfortunately, to engage in some kind of organized disruption that would be infinitely more effective.
I think what you were saying about people lack the language and the organizing structure to engage in, like, the obvious thing to do if you want to chip into the Whole Foods / Amazon mega structure of exploitation is to unionize, like to work at a Whole Foods and form a union. And I think the first one was formed recently in Philly, I think. But, you know, I mean, it's like micro-looting. It feels akin to like a posting about something. Like it's a kind of, as an atomized individual action, it's useless. It's much harder to get a job and accept $17.50 an hour, and then to organize your colleagues, a process that takes years and is often unsuccessful. I mean, that's really, you know, the thing about actual collective direct action. It's so much harder. And there's
what?
I'm also here. I'm in art.
What were you saying?
I'm playing archery.
Okay.
It often doesn't profit you whatsoever, such as, you know, me getting an extra $10 by grabbing my extra loaf of bread from Miss Nancy. Like, it's like, I do think.
Oh, as in your. Gotcha.
Think we are also lazy as humans. We're also selfish. We also we've lost not only the language and the union density and the structure to engage in things like this, but we have also lost the sort of muscle that is built up to be able to engage in these sort of things. We've lost the rooms in which these things are planned, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the confidence. I think we've lost the confidence within ourselves because there is not a lot of action like this. And in the absence of that, we lack the willpower because we don't even know what that would look like.
And I mean, you know, the climate protests in Europe tend to be a little more militant, right, than the ones that are here. And they are blocking roadways, like these things that are even objectively completely nonviolent forms of obstruction and interference that don't even involve property destruction, but merely the interruption of the capital flow of the workday, like are criminalized to shocking degrees to me, even in Europe, And I guess I'm saying, like, maybe we are getting the lack of courage is maybe a rational response to the kind of the way these actions are treated in the popular consciousness as well as by the criminal justice system, but they shouldn't be.
I want to get back a little bit to the anger underneath this. Like in 1965, CEOs were paid 21 times the average worker. In 2024, CEOs are paid 281 times the average worker. I feel like some of this is coming from a feeling of like the social contract is broken, and then there's also the slippery slope of what happens if we completely break the social contract and no one plays by the rules anymore. And I wonder where you two see the interplay of those two ideas.
Well, the rules are already designed in a way where
how did I miss that?
If you steal from the poor, you become rich. If you steal from the wealthy, you go to prison. So there's only one direction where you can do unlimited theft and erode the social contract for
I really fucking can't. This is one of the most frustrating things I've watched in a while. These people are so fucking out of touch, and it's disgusting.
I'm trying to find the key section. Yeah. Oh, good grief.
For decades.
Thanks. I just have a patrol key card. Or card
The sound of a bell will ring when their time is up. The candidates will answer the questions with the first order determined at random, and their position on stage was determined by polling.
Our first topic tonight is the cost of living in California. That includes the high cost of gas. We pay one of the highest gas taxes in the country, about 61 cents per gallon. That money goes to pay for road repairs and public transportation.
Mr. Steyer, the first question of the night goes to you. Should we cut the gas tax? You have 60 seconds.
Let me say that the reason that gasoline is so expensive, that our president, Donald Trump, has started an insane war in Iran and driven up the cost of gasoline for everybody in California.
Bad answer.
That has put $70 billion into the pockets of the oil companies who actually put him
Bad
in the
answer.
presidency. Californians are suffering across the board. The biggest problem in California is that the Californians can't afford to live here anymore. The answer on this is not to give up the gas tax, but actually
obvious
having
pivot.
windfall
Come
profit
on,
tax the
Tom.
oil companies who have been ripping us off for decades. That's on the books. We can activate it right away. We can get the money, and we should send it directly back to California citizens. The problem we have here is a president who's out of control, who's driving up costs across the board, and we actually need to take on the special interest oil companies who are taking advantage of Californians and making $70 billion more because of this.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Ms. Porter, what is your position on the gas tax? You have 60 seconds.
Affordability is not a buzzword for me. It's been my life's work, sitting across from families who have been pushed into bankruptcy by bills they couldn't pay, helping families avoid foreclosure or eviction when they were cheated by subprime lenders. It is too expensive to live in California, and I get that. I'm a single mom of three. I push a shopping cart and I fill up my minivan, which has nearly 180,000 miles on it. I absolutely feel these pressures, and I think we need to do something about it. But I also want to be clear, 82% of Californians don't breathe clean air today. And when we look at what that's costing our healthcare system, what that's costing people, we have to continue to make investments in how that we possibly can. So I absolutely think we ought to be thinking about how to move away from fossil fuels, and that means moving away from a gas tax and replacing that with the general fund taxes.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, you support temporarily suspending the gas tax. Some, including the candidates on the stage tonight, have called that proposal unserious. What's your response? You have 60 seconds.
Well, Nikki, Frank, it's great to be here with you this evening. I'm the only candidate on this stage who has called
How
for
does
suspending
Aurora
the gas
feel
tax
about
and
Porter?
reforming it
I don't
so
know.
it no longer
We
is the
haven't
most
talked
progressive
about
tax in California that's putting an
the
undue burden on
governor's
working
race.
families like the one
I don't think she's
grew up
even
in.
registered
Look,
to
I'm in this
vote
race
here
because
yet.
we deserve better answers. We deserve better answers than we've been getting from the other candidates on this stage. We don't need a billionaire who made his money in private prisons and oil and gas that he's now supposedly against, or Trump's hand-picked candidate or a DC insider who the Sacramento establishment is now rallying around. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up in Watsonville. Working class family. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a union mailman. I know what it means when gas prices go up $1 or $2 unnecessarily. I'll reform the gas tax so it's no longer the poorest, hardest working people in our state who are paying an unfair share to maintain our infrastructure.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Frank.
Mr. Becerra, you have said you don't support suspending the gas tax. Why? You have 60 seconds.
Frank, we need to make sure our roads, our highways, the potholes, we take care of business, because every day people get in their cars, they take transit, they need to get to work, they need to come home. The last thing they need to see is an infrastructure for roads and transportation that doesn't work. I remember when my parents would tell me the stories of when they came with $12 in their pocket. They had to make a life here. They needed to make sure California could work for them. Let's make sure Donald Trump is not starting reckless wars to keep the prices of gasoline down. By up to $2 a gallon, we can reduce the price. If that war in Iraq that Donald Trump started would go away. My parents looked at things like this and said, hey, help me make a living here in California. That's why they were able to, at the end of the day, send my 3 sisters and I to college, buy a house, make it so that they could retire here in California. We need to bring down those prices, but we have to do it the right way. I'll make sure as governor I tackle these crises because I've been through these crises before and had to handle them. We need someone with experience, someone who doesn't need on-the-job training the moment they get into the governor's office.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, you have said you want the total elimination of the gas tax. How would we fund roads and bridges? You have 60 seconds.
So funding roads and bridges is a fundamental responsibility of government. We need to get rid of the rest of all the waste, fraud, and the abuse of the rest of government, which all of the Democrat policies over the last 20 years, 30 years have created. We only have the highest gas price in the country because of Democrat policies that are absolutely destroying the oil industry, the automobile industry, and forcing those prices up, forcing our refineries out of the state, forcing our oil companies from drilling in our state. When you send oil, make it into gasoline and send it across state lines, and it miraculously becomes $2 cheaper, you know that your state is the problem. It is Democrat policies for the last 20, 30 years.
This dude's a straight MAGA,
not only
though.
gasoline, but the cost of living in California.
Even if all of everything he says here is good, I just can't in good conscience vote for a MAGA dude who's going to be Trump's bitch boy. I just can't let that happen in California.
We have the highest cost of living in the country because we have had one-party Democrat progressive rule for decades that is destroying the state.
Mr. Bianco, let me ask clarification one more time.
Oh, man. Oh, he wants to spend his tax. Well, good for him.
We eliminate all of the waste, the fraud, and the
abuse. You know, here's the problem, though. He's going to say a lot of sensible things, but I don't know how... I did miss it. That's my bad. I don't know how well he'll end up doing because it's not sloppyism. And it's a fucking shame.
That's going on where our money is being spent now. The number one responsibility of government is public safety. Number two is infrastructure. And if you look at where California spends its money, infrastructure is way down the line. Don't say that the gas tax is funding our roads because we have the worst roads in the entire country.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Hilton, you support permanently
Worst
cutting
roads
the gas
in the
tax
entire
in half
country?
and eliminating carbon
Okay.
climate policies. With the supermajority of Democrats in the legislature, how would you, as a Republican governor, make any of these changes into law? You have 60 seconds.
We have to make these changes because Californians are being crushed by the gas price. By the gas tax. We have the highest gas tax in the
A fucking bonger?
country for the worst roads in the country. And across the board, we have the highest taxes for the worst results. And you know who's really suffering? It's working Californians. It's small businesses. Most of my career has been in business. I know what it's like to try and run a business. The costs that are being imposed on our businesses and on workers in California is just too much. And one way or another, all the Democrats here are part of this system that obviously isn't working. We need common sense solutions. We need practical solutions. Why are we importing oil from 7,500 miles away in Iraq rather than using the oil we have here in California? That's the kind
Because
of
that's not how the oil trade... Bro, if you're Mr. Business Guy, you should know that that's not how the fucking oil market works. God, why are people so retarded?
As governor, I will be there to persuade the legislature to do, because they, in the end, want to help Californians too.
And just to clarify the question again, how would you, as a Republican governor, make any of these changes into law with a supermajority of Democrats? 15 seconds.
The first point is that to open up California oil production doesn't need the legislature because it's through executive action. The way that they've been closing it down is through an agency of the executive branch called CalGEM, the California Department of Geologic and Energy Management. I would replace the people in there and give them a clear instruction to issue permits to our oil industry to produce oil here in California so we can cut gas prices for California families and businesses.
Thank you very much, Nikki.
This next question is a follow-up question. It is for all of you. Should electric vehicle drivers pay a mileage-based road tax to fund infrastructure? Mr. Steyer, we'll start with you. You have 30 seconds.
So let me say this. I think it is critical that California get off fossil fuels. Electric vehicles, starting cost is too high, and I would triple the credit so that people can afford to buy electric vehicles and no longer be subject to the fossil fuel costs and the fossil fuel control. Should they be paying the equivalent of a gas tax? Yes. But the truth is, electric vehicles are cheaper. That is our future, and we need to move to it as fast as possible.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Ms. Porter, same question to you.
There you
have
go.
30 seconds.
I think all taxes should be progressive. The very wealthy, the billionaires, should pay more. The problem with a gas tax or a vehicle's mile travel tax is that it does the opposite. It punishes the lowest income Californians, those who have the longest commutes to work and can least afford fancy vehicles. So I think it's important that we fund this, as I've said, out of the general fund. We do need to move toward electric vehicles over time, but the reason they're not getting purchased
is Steyer wearing fucking 90s right now?
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, same question to you. You have 30 seconds.
I would reform the way we're funding infrastructure by issuing a flat fee on all vehicles, whether they're EVs or gas-powered. Right now, gas-powered families, disproportionately lower-income families, people living in rural communities are paying 3 times more to maintain our roads. The way to achieve our climate goals is to invest in innovation, infrastructure, smart targeted subsidies, not to punish working people who can't afford an EV.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, same question to you, and I'll repeat it. Should electric vehicle drivers
Very
pay a
smart.
mileage-based road tax?
Oh no! Oh no!
About our commuters and what they would want to see. I know that they want to see roads.
I need to
bridges,
see how the
highways,
polls turn out, because at the end of the day, I'm going to vote for whichever Democrat is ahead in the polls. That's just the type of election I'm looking at. But I really like him, Neighborhoody.
For them, that let them get to work, that let them pick up their kids. They don't want to have potholes that ruin their vehicle tires and wheels. They want to have roads, bridges, highways that work. So I would say, let's take a look at all of the above. Whatever works. I'm not going to let our transportation infrastructure crumble. We have to make sure it's working for all of us. And so let's consider anything that works that the public can get behind. That's how I would do it.
Specifically, though, just to clarify here, would you support a tax for electric vehicles? 15 seconds.
If we see that that's one option that people support, I would make sure that we are funding our infrastructure. We can't let that go, because what we have is when we let our roads and our bridges crumble, people suffer, commuters suffer, and we pay a higher price. So we will fund our transportation infrastructure.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, same question to you. You have 30 seconds.
Let me make this very, very clear. California doesn't have a money problem. We have a money spending problem by decades of Democrat failure.
Oh my God. No, this guy is brainless. This guy's got nothing up there. He won't even answer the question. He's just going to do the Trump thing of anytime he's asked a question, it's because the Democrats. It's because the Democrats. It's because the Democrats. It's because the Democrats. I don't actually have anything to offer. It's because the Democrats. It's because the Democrats.
Every answer you've had so far for the California public, they're raising your taxes.
Becerra is less of a slopulist. I don't understand why the populist left is supporting him. They're coming off kind of hypocritical and stupid, because he's actually somewhat moderate from everything that I've looked at.
To stop their spending. No, I will not support a tax on mileage. No, I will not support a gas.
That's not what I've seen online.
Tax. It is a government's responsibility to have priorities, and infrastructure is an absolute priority.
Right.
We are getting rid of all the waste, and we are doing what government is supposed to do.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Hilton, same question to you. You have 30 seconds.
No, we cannot keep going in this direction with Democrats constantly going for their insatiable appetite for more and more taxes for their bottomless money pit. And now the mileage tax, they want to track you everywhere you drive. No, I would veto that. We need to cut spending and cut taxes so that we can give relief to families and businesses. My plan is for $3 gas and your first 100 grand tax free. That's what we need to do to make our state Cal affordable.
Mr. Hilton, thank you. Frank.
Our next question tonight is about an issue we all see every day in California: homelessness.
The guy on the left is pretty good, actually.
In the state right now. In a recent Inside
California First guy is pretty good.
86% of those surveyed
Becerra's all right.
Has stayed the same or is getting worse. We want to ask a question about Governor Newsom's performance on homelessness.
I thought was good, but I'm listening to him and I'm kind of like, this guy's kind of a dumbass.
Do differently. Ms. Porter, we're going to begin with you. You recently gave the governor a solid A- when it comes to his overall job performance. What grade would you give him on homelessness, and what, if anything, would you do differently? You have 60 seconds.
I'm a notoriously tough grader, but I would probably give him a B on homelessness. I don't think this has been an easy problem to solve, but I do give him a lot of credit for calling attention to the problem. When he campaigned 8 years ago, he was talking about housing when nobody else was. Our homelessness problem is a direct correlate of our housing problems. We're not going to solve homelessness without bringing down the cost of housing. That's why housing has been my #1 issue since the day I launched this race over a year ago. What I would do differently than Governor Newsom is fund homelessness prevention. It is so much more cost effective and so much more humane to prevent families from becoming homeless in the first place, and making sure that if they do lose their home, that they're able to land in an interim housing or shelter situation. We can't solve this problem because the problem keeps getting worse. For every person we put into permanent supportive housing, somebody else loses their home and takes their place. That's why Californians don't feel like we're making progress despite spending significant money.
Ms. Porter, thank you very much. Mr. Mahan, you've given Governor Newsom grades ranging from A to D depending on the issue. What grade would you give him on homelessness, and what, if anything, would you do differently? You have 60 seconds.
Well, Frank, look, the assessment does depend on the issue, and I'm going to leave the letter grades to you and all the pundits out there. Let me tell you what we've done in San Jose, because we've created a model for the rest of the state. We've increased trust in local government by 40%, primarily because we have moved thousands of people indoors. I had to take on the establishment within my own party to change the way we were spending our money. We were spending $1 million a door and taking years to build alternatives to the streets. Instead, we built basic, dignified shelter, invested in prevention, and when shelter was available, we required that people come indoors. We've reduced unsheltered homelessness in San Jose by nearly 1/3 over the last 4 years. That's why trust in government in San Jose has increased. It's why fewer people are outdoors. And it's part of the reason that our streets are safer and cleaner. I'm proud of what we've done. I'll demand results from every city and every county in California as governor.
I'd like to clarify and ask you one more time to give a letter grade to help voters understand your assessment of Governor Newsom's job on this issue. You have 15 seconds.
All right, Frank, since you insisted, look, I'll give him a B on Care Court and Prop 1 and many of the important initiatives that he championed where I've been proud to stand with him. I'm going to give us all, though, a D on implementation. San Jose has led the way. A few other places have, but we have not delivered the results people deserve.
Thank you very much for the letter grades. Mr. Becerra, we haven't seen you issue a letter grade on Governor Newsom's overall performance. What grade does he get on homelessness, and what, if anything, would you do differently? You have 60 seconds.
Frank, I would say that the governor has made efforts. We've seen him come down to Los Angeles, actually go out and try to clean some of the streets. On effort, I would give him an A. Here's what I would do that's different, though. I would focus on accountability.
On effort,
I would make sure if we're
give him
sending
an A,
billions of dollars
great.
down to the local communities, to our cities and our counties, that we would demand accountability for the dollar that we're going to give them. We need to see results,
my
and results are what you
God.
see on the streets. We need to pull folks up, help get them back on their feet, and that's what I would do. But what I will tell you is my principal job as governor, and I'm glad to see other people are saying this, is I'm going to keep you housed. If you are in a home right now, renting or owning, if you lose your job unexpectedly, or you have a medical emergency, and now you're about to become homeless as a result of that now unaffordable expense, tell me what you need. How can I help you keep your home? Because it costs me so much more money to pick you off the streets, provide you with the assistance in the shelter, than it does to keep you in the home that you're already paying for.
Mr. Becerra, let me ask you a follow-up question. You're saying that anyone who needs housing assistance, you will help them. That means the government will help them. How much is that going to cost? And where does that money come from?
True,
Yeah, Frank, we spend
neighbor.
billions, tens of billions of dollars right now to try to pull people off the streets.
I hope
You think it's
this,
working? It would cost us a fraction of that amount to help someone who temporarily lost
I
their
hope
job
this
stay in the homes,
propels.
give them
Is it
2 or 3 months
Mahan?
fall behind on
Mahan?
rent. They don't get kicked out.
Mahan?
We're trying to
I don't
support them.
know.
A zero-interest loan.
I hope
You
it
keep them in the
propels him
home.
up,
I save a lot more money
but
keeping them in
it
the house
likely
than watching
won't.
them hit the streets.
Yeah, how do you
Trying to
pronounce
find
it?
Far more expensive.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Nikki?
Well, we'll
Mr.
hear
Bianco,
it.
you've been
They'll
very
say
critical
it.
of Governor Newsom. What grade would you give him on homelessness, and what would you do differently?
Well,
You have 60 seconds.
I think we've just learned of the failure of the California education system too.
Here
We can't even
comes.
realistically
He's going to
assign
talk
grades
about how
failure.
bad the
It's an
Democrats are,
absolute dismal failure.
and that California is terrible at everything because Democrats.
That was fun.
Here we
Who
go.
says it's not is fooling themselves
Mayhem.
or trying to
Okay.
fool voters. We are not dealing with homeless, so stop calling it homeless. It has nothing to do with homes. This is drug and alcohol-induced psychosis, mental illness causing the other. It doesn't matter. But these people are suffering from drug and alcohol abuse and mental illness. We would have fixed this problem probably already
Democrats.
had the Democrats in California.
There it is! There it is!
In state legislature and our governor funded Prop 36 to give us the treatment that we need. I am on the front lines of this. I've been on the front lines of this for 33 years. This has nothing to do with the home. Until we actually start caring about these people, you have compassion to look them in the face and tell them that you're going to walk by them and ignore them. If that's what you're going to do, you're just a part of the failure.
And we'll
of
never
government.
get that
We are
with the
going to
Democrats.
deal with this for what it is. It is not homes.
Mr. Bianco, I just want to clarify here the second part of the question. If you're elected governor, what would you do differently?
See
You have
him.
15 seconds.
Every single bit of the money going to nonprofits and NGOs for homeless ends the day I take over.
suck
And
at
a small
shooting.
portion of that will go to the funding of the drug and alcohol treatment centers that they need.
Oh my God, dude! He's like, I'm gonna deal with it by slashing all the funding they have to get off the streets and kick their drug addiction.
The mental health treatment centers that they need, and then more importantly,
Mr.
the
Bianco.
combination
And then I'll
of
give
everything.
some of it,
Mr. Bianco,
just a
thank you. Mr.
little,
Hilton, you've
small
given the governor an
portion
F
of it.
on his overall performance. When it comes to homelessness, has he done anything right? You have 60 seconds.
Well, by the way, I'd love to be in your class. Katie, if you get a B for what Gavin Newsom's done on homelessness, my goodness, of course it's an F. It shames our state, the situation with homelessness. We have about 10%
Bro,
of the US
our
population,
state?
50%
You're
of the
fucking
country's homeless
bonger, dog.
population. And as for Javier praising Gavin
Stop
Newsom
talking
for
to me in
photo op, when he
bonger
tried to
knees,
pretend
okay?
he was
This is
cleaning up the homeless
California.
encampment. Literally, Gavin Newsom did that 3 times in a row. Nothing changed. And nothing will change if you have one of these Democrats in power. It will be more of the same. My plan is a common sense 3-point plan. Number 1, it is illegal to live and camp on the streets. We need to enforce the law. Number 2, we need to get people into the drug treatment that they need, and it cannot be a choice. Number 3, we
Yeah,
need to
I
get
guess you're
people the
just
mental
dying
health
now.
care that they need instead of the barbaric situation we have right now in California as a result of these Democrat policies, where the main place where we're treating people with mental health problems is
Hilton,
jail. That has to change.
Mr. Hilton, thank you. Ms. Porter, Mr. Becerra, I'll let you respond, but I just want to clarify the second part of my question. Do you think the governor has done anything right on homelessness?
No, everything has taken us in the wrong direction. That's why we spend, what is it, the State Auditor found, $24 billion of our money spent on homelessness. They have no idea where it went because it's going into these non-profits and crony developers that are, instead of solving the problem, they are profiting
Okay, Mr.
off
Hilton,
these
thank you.
Democrat
Your time is up.
policies.
Thank you. Ms. Porter, I'll allow you to respond. You have 15
If
seconds.
you were in my class, Mr. Hilton, you would learn in my bankruptcy and consumer protection class that the majority of homeless people in California are actually working. They're not just people on the streets. It's not just people with mental illness or people with drug or substance use problems. It's
I've
also
never had
families
anybody
who are
do that
fleeing
to
intimate
me
partner
yet.
and domestic.
Who isn't wrong? Hilton?
Or no, just the
violence.
Bigger on
It's people who are
conquer,
double and tripled
big
up. It's people who are
surrender.
living in their cars on our college campuses. Homelessness comes in a lot of different forms, and if we don't see the whole problem, if we
That was
demonize them from
funny.
one perspective, we'll never be able to solve this problem.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Becerra, allowed you to respond
Yeah,
to
work on
Mr.
my
Hilton.
long
There you have 15
distance.
seconds.
Well, it's interesting to watch someone who
Well,
served as a talking
I mean,
head
there's a
on-
lot of reasons for that. And it seems like nobody here is actually talking about some of the main reasons for that to be the case. But it seems like nobody here actually knows that
does make me
homelessness
feel
is starting to decline now.
program telling us how government should run when he never has run any government in his life. And it's fascinating to see that he can do all these things when he's talking about not
Which it
collecting
is.
any revenue
It
to
is
be able to do any of this work.
declining
It
in
doesn't add up, the
California.
math doesn't work, but then that's what happens. You can be a talking head and not worry about the consequences of what you do.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Steyer, the last time you were asked to grade Governor Newsom, let me ask this question. We know you have a lot to say tonight. We have a lot to get to. So let me ask you this question here. Mr. Steyer, the last time you were asked to grade Governor Newsom, you passed, saying that you hadn't followed his record closely enough. Are you ready to give him a grade on homelessness? And what, if anything, would you do differently? You have 60 seconds.
So I give the governor a B- on this. And I want to start with a simple statement, which is no one gets well on the street.
Okay.
What I would do is make sure to keep as many people off the street, and if they're on the street, to get them off as fast as possible. Because only 1 in 7 people who becomes homeless starts with a serious mental health problem, either bipolarism or some sort of substance abuse. But being on the street itself is such a stressful, vulnerable, dangerous place that it creates mental health problems for many people. That's why I'm in favor of emergency interim housing. Getting people into one room with a key, shared laundry and food.
You have a good holiday.
You don't have to be clean, and you can bring your animal. We need to get people off the street. And let's remember this. We want our cities to be walkable and safe. We want kids to be safe walking down the street. Cleaning up this problem gives us a chance to rejuvenate our inner cities, to make them vibrant, and a place where we're going to build more housing and put more people.
And Mr. Starr, I just want to clarify that last part when you said get people off the streets and into housing. Is that something that you would force them to do?
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. The point about emergency interim housing is this.
That's why
people
they
want to go
want
to it.
that
This is
white
something that actually is
Christmas,
designed
that
to meet their needs, as opposed to the
thing.
huge shelters or waiting 7 years to get them into permanent housing, which costs, Matt Mahan was saying it costs $1 million a key, and the numbers I've heard are between $750,000 and $1 million. Being homeless for 7 years is an incredibly dangerous thing to do, and it's the most compassionate thing we can do is to provide the interim housing that gets people to places they want to be.
Mr. Stiers, thank you. Mr. Mahan, I'll let you respond since he invoked your name and called out the figure there.
Yeah, thanks. Well, look, it has cost $1 million a door. I can show you the receipts from projects that have been approved across the Bay Area. It's worth keeping in mind, the only housing Tom Stiers built has been private prisons and ICE detention centers. Here's the truth. The reality is when you build interim housing, and what Tom's pointing to is the San Jose model. We've built interim housing, dignified alternatives to the streets. 70–80% of people have been willing to come indoors. There's also a share of folks who are out there who are unwilling or unable to come indoors.
Mr.
We have to be able to make
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Stiers, I'll give you 15 seconds.
So let me say this. My wife and I started a nonprofit bank to basically go in and support the people who can't get financing from normal banks. We have financed 17,000 low-income housing units. We have made sure that every loan is measured only for its impact on the community, either in terms of economic growth or environmental sustainability, and we don't make a dime out of it, and we absolutely never will.
Mr. Stiers, thank you. Now we would like to ask a question about each of your individual campaigns. You will have 1 minute to answer this question. Mr. Mahan, we will start this round with you. Artificial intelligence is replacing jobs in every industry. Your campaign is supported in part by billionaire tech executives. How can voters concerned about AI trust you to work for them and not the tech industry? You have 60 seconds.
Thanks, Nikki. I'm the only candidate on this stage who has direct experience with deploying AI in government and regulating it. We created the playbook in San Jose that hundreds of other cities and counties use to put restrictions on how technology is used. Being the mayor of the largest city in Silicon Valley, I am at the forefront of these technological changes. I know that these tools can be harnessed to do great good, to make government more efficient and more responsive. We've sped up buses and improved language access, but I also understand the risks, privacy, misinformation and manipulation, job loss, which is why we've put strict regulations on our use of technology that other cities are following. We've created the first AI upskilling curriculum for our workforce so that they aren't displaced by technology, but they can use it to enhance their work. I am not afraid to regulate big tech or any other industry, and as governor, I'll make sure we protect the people of California.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, you were chair of the Democratic caucus when Eric Swalwell was elected to Congress. You said in a recent interview that, quote, many of us heard the rumors. What rumors did you hear, and should you have pursued the rumors as a member of Democratic leadership? You have 60 seconds.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, you hear rumors all the time about all sorts of things. Rumors are not facts, and the caucus, the Democratic caucus, is not a place that adjudicates those things. It's law enforcement that does. If someone had come forward, we could then have investigations. I say that as the former Attorney General for the state of California. When I was Attorney General, we did go after sex trafficking. We did go after those who abuse of young women and take advantage of them. We did prosecute people. There was an individual who was a religious leader who was taking advantage of young women. We prosecuted that individual, and today he is in jail for his crimes. We have gone after people, but we go after them based on evidence and based on facts. Unfortunately, we have a president today who would go after someone based on rumors. That's not the way we do it in America. We have to have the facts. Rumors are one thing, but getting the facts really gets you to move. And let me just applaud those courageous survivors who stood up and told America what the truth was. And today, Eric Swalwell was facing accountability.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Frank.
Mr. Bianco, you took an unprecedented action recently, seizing 650,000 certified
good.
county election officials as part of an investigation.
Fucking hold him to the fire on this. This shit was fucked.
California Supreme Court has ordered that investigation paused for now. Do you believe California elections are secure, and would you consider taking the same action after the primary election if you don't believe the results? You have 60 seconds.
Well, we're never going to know if our elections are secure because when law enforcement does legitimate investigations into the allegations, it's stopped by our current Democrat one-party rule in California, particularly our embarrassment of an attorney general. So this was a very, very basic, normal investigation. The allegation didn't come from a group. It came from reports that our own records, county records from the Registrar of Voters that do not match the output of votes counted. So a very simple investigation would have counted those ballots to see if they match the votes. But we now have a massive political outcry from our Attorney General using political lawfare to stop a lawful investigation. And it wasn't stopped. The investigation was not stopped by the Supreme Court. It was stopped so we could argue these ridiculous allegations from the Attorney General about whether or not he has authority to stop that investigation in the first place.
And to clarify, would you consider taking the same action after this primary election action if you don't believe the results. You have 15 seconds.
You made that assumption that's why this happened. That is absolutely horrific that you basically said that I did that because of how I felt. If we get information, I've been 33 years in law enforcement investigating crime. Do you want me to start
you
doing
look
that with
like a
murders?
fucking scumbag idiot.
This is an absolutely ridiculous question. This is a
Holy
ridiculous
shit.
topic because we have an allegation of voter fraud. And Californians are sick of voter fraud. They're sick of politics.
Oh
and they
my
believe there's
god,
voter
dude,
fraud.
shut
We're trying to
up,
fix it.
bro. This is
All right,
nobody
Mr. Hilton,
believes
Mr. Hilton,
this
you said you were
anymore.
deeply honored to recently receive President Trump's endorsement. That's despite the fact that 62% of Californians disapprove of the job he is doing. Are those Californians wrong? You have 60 seconds.
One of the proudest days of my life was the day I became an American citizen. It happened in a ceremony right here in San Francisco. So it is a deep honor for me to be endorsed by the President of the United States. And here's the thing that's going to help every Californian when I'm governor, is that we will have a constructive relationship and partnership with the federal government, which would be the case, I would hope, for any party in that situation, so that we can make things better in California. Work with the president and his administration to manage our forests better, to harvest the timber so we can build the single-family homes we need for young families, to work to increase California energy production as he wants to do, so we can lower gas prices, to fight the fraud in our government so we can cut spending and cut taxes, to work to enforce our immigration laws in all these areas and more. It will benefit every Californian to have a governor who is a partner on these issues with the president and his team.
Nikki?
Mr. Steyer, you are the only billionaire in this race. According to reports, you and your wife paid $5.4 million in federal taxes in 2024. You have said repeatedly, quote, tax me more. How much more should you be paying? And there's nothing preventing you from paying more. Have you? So you have 60 seconds.
So let me say this. I'm the only billionaire on the ballot, Nikki, but I'm not the only billionaire in this race. The billionaires and corporations are spending big in this race to oppose me and to support the other people on this stage. In 2024, corporations spent $540 million to lobby in Sacramento. They are literally spending tens of millions of dollars against me. I'm the billionaire who wants to tax other billionaires. I'm the billionaire who's taking on the electric monopolies and trying to break up their power. I'm the billionaire who wants to tax the oil companies and make polluters pay. So when you say I'm the only billionaire in the race, yes, but I'm the person who is the change agent in this state. I'm the person who's taking on the funded corporate interests who are driving up costs.
How you doing, buddy?
Every place.
Good.
No one wants
We're
to take
watching
them on.
the California governor's
tens of
debate.
millions. And let me say this.
Oh, hell yeah. Is it the main primaries for the Democrats?
It's all the Democrats and Republicans on the same stage.
And there's nothing preventing you from paying
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
That we will give the bulk of our money away while we're alive and in the process of doing that. But me paying more taxes is not the answer. I've said
hop on in.
Say that again, Tom. Wait, no.
Yeah,
I said
I'll definitely watch and see what the fuck is going on.
If one person puts more money in the government, that doesn't solve it. We need structural change. And in every one of the places where Californians are being ripped off, where it's impossible for them to make rent at the end of the month, I'm taking on the special interests, and they're fighting back. They're the person who are coming after me because they're scared of being ripped off. We need
have you?
My wife and I
Does your boyfriend's
that we will give the bulk of our money away while we're alive and in the process of doing that. But me paying more taxes is not the answer. I've said I believe people
say
should.
that again, Tom.
Wait, no.
Mr. Hilton, Mr. Hilton.
I've said
You and Mama should
one person putting more money into the system.
Mr. Hilton, if you guys are both talking, people at home won't be able to hear you. So
If one person puts more money into the government, that doesn't solve it. We need structural change. And in every one of the places where Californians are being ripped off, where it's impossible for them to make rent at the end of the month, I'm taking on the special interests, and they're fighting back. They're the person who are coming after me because they're scared of me.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Frank.
Ms. Porter, you've acknowledged that your interactions with an aide and with a reporter captured on videos which went viral were, in your words,
good. Yeah, ask her about this crazy shit.
What have you done to address those concerns? And
yeah,
as a person who frequently
Katie.
speaks about being a parent on the campaign trail, what would you tell your own kids if they ever faced a boss?
Yeah, Katie, that was
I
fucked up.
apologized that day to that staffer 4 years ago, and I took responsibility then, and I've taken responsibility since, acknowledging that it was not the right way to treat someone, and that is a big contrast to what we've seen other candidates do, where they have been called out for misconduct. I'm proud that staffer in that video and I continued to work together for 4 years following that incident, and it speaks to how I addressed it. I work hard with my team to deliver for Californians, things like free COVID testing in the first weeks of the pandemic, things like cracking down on pharmaceutical price gouging, calling out a bank CEO for the fact that their employees couldn't pay for housing. All of my accomplishments have come from my team, and I would say that if somebody is treating you rudely, you should speak up. And that's what I would want my children to do, and that's what I did when I was being pushed again and again and again to kowtow, to give in and defend Donald Trump when he was engaged in despicable actions. I wasn't going to do that for that reporter, and I will not do it as governor.
Ms. Porter, thank you very much. And with that, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to ask the candidates about an exclusive report that shed new light on a battle between California and the Trump
So she
administration.
dumped boiling hot scalloped potatoes on his head? I didn't fucking know that. What the hell? That's crazy.
I can't even see you. Okay. They sound nasty.
Wow.
Yeah.
The whole commercial break.
Welcome back to Debate Night in California. The race for governor coming to you live from San Francisco.
All right, let's move on to our next question. In an exclusive Cron 4 report, a California Highway Patrol officer was recorded giving a roadside English proficiency test to a commercial truck driver. Let's take a look at the video.
Now, do me a favor. Tell me what this sign means. So what does this mean? What is it telling you? What does this sign mean?
This video is captured following the U.S. Department of Transportation withholding $40 million in funding, saying California is the only state in the country that refuses to ensure big rig drivers can read road signs and communicate with law enforcement.
Mr. Becerra, we begin this round with you. Should
Yeah,
the
they're in the
CHP
window
be giving
across
English
from
proficiency
us.
tests to truck drivers? And if not, would you as governor push back against the Trump administration on this policy? You have 60 seconds.
I would definitely push back on the
in
Trump
there.
administration on, again, a reckless policy. I would make sure that that officer understands that he cannot discriminate against any driver without having a basis to do so. I understood a little bit of what that individual was trying to say. I couldn't see the signs, but it certainly sounded like he was trying to describe what that particular sign was trying to represent. And so we have to be very careful that we're not profiling consumers in California, drivers in California. It is against the law. And our police officers, while they try to do the best job of keeping safety, have to understand they have to abide by the rules and treat everyone, every motorist, the same way. And so if that officer had some basis to be qualified, let's take a look at that. But let's not find that people are being discriminated against because of what they look like. Is that officer asking everyone he pulls over to explain those road signs, or is he asking only people who look like me? And if he's doing that, then he's violating the law.
And I just want to clarify, do you think
Porter's
CHP
way
should be
behind
giving
the polls.
English proficiency tests?
As far as I know, the Academy does not
That
train
is
CHP
new.
officers to be giving English proficiency exams. So that officer has some explaining to do.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, you are the only law enforcement officer on the stage tonight. Should this type of roadside testing become standard practice across California? And what should happen to drivers if they do fail? You have 60 seconds.
Well, we have to, first off, acknowledge that we actually do have rules and we actually do have laws. And if they are not abiding by those laws and California is giving them driver's licenses when they do not qualify for those driver's licenses and we're sending them out onto the streets, we also have seen several horrific accidents that were attributed to people that did not understand English or that could not comprehend the road signs or the street signs that they were supposed to be abiding by. So we don't know the context of this. This is what's super important, especially in law enforcement. You have to know the entire context of this entire stop.
Gonna
this
get
entire
behind
video, not just
Becerra?
the small
All
section.
right.
But if he is verifying whether or not someone can read signs, my guess is he was stopped for violating a sign, and he's trying to verify that he could. And let's stop with this whole racism thing and racial profiling and all of this garbage. We have to get over this. You either violated the law or you didn't. End of story. Consequences for bad behavior.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Hilton, would you require full compliance with the federal language standards for truck drivers? You have 60 seconds.
So I've discussed this with someone called Marcus Coleman from Bakersfield. His beautiful daughter, Delilah, was put into a coma by someone driving a truck. An illegal immigrant, didn't speak English, and his daughter now disabled for life. That's what we're dealing with here. It is completely ridiculous that we have people driving on our roads who can't understand road signs and can't speak English. So, yes, of course, and I've discussed this with my friend Sean Duffy, the Transportation
Bro,
Secretary.
you don't speak
We will not
American.
be issuing commercial driver licenses when I'm governor to people who are illegally here and who don't speak English. That is obvious common sense.
Mr. Hilton, thank you. Frank.
Mr. Steyer, where do you draw the line on this? Should language proficiency for truckers be strictly enforced, even if it means that some of them will probably lose their jobs? You have 60 seconds.
Look, I agree with what was said, which is we don't know the context of this stop. But what I can say is this: racial profiling is illegal. And in fact, picking on people based on the color of their skin in the state of California is illegal. I have a program for ICE that involves prosecuting them for racial profiling, prosecuting them for violence against Californians and the supervisors, studying, investigating their detention centers, having legal defense funds for people who've been kidnapped and put in those detention centers,
Okay.
and a Know Your Rights PR campaign. Listen, what we're talking about here is whether police officers and the criminal justice system treats people fairly based on the color of their skin. I will say this: Donald Trump posted against me last week because I said ICE has to obey the law in California. The head of ICE posted against me, but I'm not going to step back because the truth is, racial profiling is illegal, violence is illegal, and the governor of California needs to stand up for Californian citizens every time.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Ms. Porter, same question. Do you believe that English proficiency, language proficiency, should be strictly enforced for truck drivers? You have 60 seconds.
I would absolutely fight the Trump administration because the job of the California governor is to protect Californians. And right now, that includes protecting them from Donald Trump.
Who's the front runner?
Enforcing traffic laws. And we've
There's a couple. There's the Trump guy, Hilton, the British dude, Hilton. And I guess Steyer is the left-wing front runner, but it's fluctuating a lot.
sometimes a need for oversight in California. For example, we have seen that the Department of Motor
Could be
Vehicles
the
is now
same.
enforcing rules around DUIs and drivers who had convictions for that. I am stunned that Mr. Bianco would
Llama's loud as
say to
fuck.
black and brown Californians and immigrants who are being terrorized and racially profiled that you have to
My
get
bad.
over racism. It's not something that you get over, it's something that you fight. And if he doesn't understand the importance of that, he has no
Say
business
something?
representing a state with the diversity of California.
Ms. Porter, thank you very much. Mr. Bianco, I'll give you 15 seconds to respond.
Yeah, again,
Llama.
that's
Hey, how y'all doing?
Californians, I'm
better?
speaking for them, especially from law enforcement. When I deal with persons of color every single day, Californians are absolutely sick and tired of our politicians making race the basis of everything. It is not. And this racial divide that they are pushing between law enforcement and the public, or Democrat and Republican, absolutely has to stop. And I'm telling you, we are sick of it.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Mahan, as a mayor of a city in which 42%
Mic check,
of the residents
mic
are
check.
foreign-born, do you believe that English proficiency tests for truckers are necessary? You have 60 seconds.
No, Frank, the right
That
answer
was
here
really
is
loud
clearly
and
to hold
close
the
to my
DMV accountable
face. My
for
bad,
ensuring that
everybody.
every driver on our roadway meets the qualifications for the license that they have. That's the appropriate entity to do this. And as the mayor of not only one of the most diverse big cities in the country, but the safest big city in the country, let me tell you what creates real public safety. It's rooted in trust. When people trust the law enforcement officers who serve the community,
Now
it
you
means that
can't
residents
hear
are more likely
Aurora?
to
Aurora's in the background. I think she's doing something else.
Our creators.
So,
Your mom.
like, I don't think she's. I couldn't really hear her anyway. I could hear she was talking, but I couldn't hear any of the specifics. These headphones are decent for like noise canceling, but I can't hear her.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
crime, to serve as witnesses, to provide evidence. We made San Jose the safest big city in the country by building that trust between law enforcement and the community that they serve. That will be my priority as governor, but we should never lower the standard that agencies like the DMV enforce. As governor, I will also ensure that every state agency lives up to its responsibility.
Clarification, English proficiency, 15 seconds. Exams?
The DMV has exams, and it's not about whether or not you speak English. I represent one of the most diverse cities and the safest city. What the DMV is responsible for doing is not testing how good your English is. It's whether or not you're a safe driver who understands the rules.
All right, Mr. Mahan, thank you. Nikki?
This is another round where you will all be getting the same question. We're asking for a yes or no answer here. If you do not finish in the top two on June 2nd, will you endorse your party's nominee? Mr. Steyer, we will start with you. Yes or no?
Yes. Do you want me to go to elaborate, or is it just yes?
Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah, I said yes.
Thank you, Mr. Steyer. Ms. Porter?
Absolutely yes.
I guess we are going to let you elaborate, so I'll go back to you, Mr. Steyer. I'll give you 15 seconds.
Let me put it to you this way. If there's a Republican in the race, that Republican will be supported by and also supporting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is raising our gas prices. Donald Trump is kicking 1 to 3 million people off Medi-Cal. Donald Trump is he is trying to punish California every way he can, and the people who are supporting him are also supporting ICE. That is an organized illegal organization that is terrorizing and victimizing California. How can I support that? Every
Mr. Steyer,
Democrat
thank
is
you.
better.
Ms. Porter, I know that you said yes. Your response.
Yes, absolutely. And I have a track record of supporting other Democrats.
What a
Mr. Steyer likes
dumb
to talk about his
time warp
giving pledge, but what he's done with his own
execution.
money is more give
That
me
was
an
fucking
opportunity to be the governor. I think it's really important that we support other Democrats. I've campaigned for other people in purple seats. I've raised money for other people. I was a successful fundraiser and a successful campaigner, and I've used that to beat Donald Trump everywhere we can, and I would do the same thing in this race.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, we'll come to you. If you don't finish in the top two on June 2nd, will you endorse your party's nominee? You have 15 seconds.
Well, we don't have party primaries, but assuming there's a Democrat and a Republican, I'll endorse the Democrat, but I will make very clear to them and everyone else that the best resistance to Donald Trump is delivering results in people's lives, just as I've done as the mayor of the third largest city in the state, where we're building thousands of homes,
Mr.
we've
Mahan, thank
reduced
you.
crime and reduced homelessness.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, same question to you.
What we need is the best person who can fight those who are attacking California, like Donald Trump.
No,
Someone who's actually
but
taken
I
on Donald Trump,
managed to
not
get
just
out
fought,
of it.
but won.
That was
Someone who just
dumb.
wants to
I was
fight
like,
even
why
more
is
for
the
housing,
time
but
warp
has
so
and can
long?
improve the lives of so many people, has fought for better health
Why
care.
would it
I will
like
support that
time warp
Democrat
the
in the
second
runoff.
Mr.
go
Becerra, thank you.
around? What a
Mr. Becerra, thank you.
dumb
Frank.
I'll ask the
fucking
Republicans
thing
now.
for the
We've heard from the
system to
Democrats.
do.
Mr. Bianco, if you do not finish
KSP
in the
is
top
like
two on June 2nd, will you endorse your
14
party's
years
nominee?
old
15
now,
seconds.
so the engine is
The
retarded
only
by today's standards.
person,
It
people
makes
who are hurting
mistakes like
California
that.
are Democrats. It is not Donald Trump. They keep saying Donald Trump
There it
because
is.
Democrat politics.
There it is. What do you think, bro? It's the Democrats. Democrats terrible. Everything's because Democrats. Democrats this. Democrats that. This guy has not a single brain cell left.
Are a dismal failure in California. They have nothing to point to. If I'm not going to support my opponent because it's going to be he and I going to November.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Hilton, if you do not finish in the top two on June 2nd, will you endorse your party's nominee? 15
Yes,
seconds.
yes, I will, because we've had 16 years of one-party rule by these Democrats. It's given us the highest poverty rate, the highest unemployment rate, the highest cost of living in America. It is obviously, desperately time for change in California. It's time for some balance in our system. We have to elect a Republican as governor.
It's just because of
Now we're
Democrats.
going to
There's
go
no
to our
other
closing
reason
statements, but
for
that does
any
not
of
mean
those
the debate
things. Like
is over. We will continue to be
everybody
live
wanting
on our
to
last
move
half hour
to
of our
the
digital
state.
channels and on YouTube to get there quickly. Just scan the QR QR code on your left side of your screen. Mr. Mahan, we will begin with your closing statements. You have 30
Democrats are
seconds.
just fucking
Thanks, Nikki.
everything up.
I'm running for governor because Californians deserve better. We deserve a government that is accountable for delivering results in people's lives. As mayor of the third largest city in the state, I've delivered the biggest decreases in crime and homelessness. We have thousands of homes under construction. I know what it looks like to take on the establishment within my own party to make government deliver results for working people. We don't need MAGA, but we also don't need more of the same. That's why I'm offering something
Mr.
different.
Mahan, thank you. Ms. Porter, you have 30 seconds.
California, this election is
Damn,
about
he
who
really
you
is
can trust
the
to
governor
fight
we
for you.
deserve.
One candidate is a billionaire who got rich off polluters and ICE prisons and is now using that money to fund his election. Another candidate for nearly 40 years cashed corporate checks
He
and then
would.
lacked the courage to take them on. I'm not like them. I have never taken corporate
Oh, and progressives would hate it so much. Hassan would be so upset.
money. That's why I have always stood firm against Donald Trump and special interests. I'm like you, a mom fighting for a better future for California.
I'm not
Ms.
a
Porter,
mom.
thank you. Mr. Becerra, you have 30 seconds.
California is going through a crisis, and we need someone who knows how to govern in crisis,
Frustrating
not
thing
someone who's
about
going to need
Hassan
training
is
wheels
that,
the
you know,
moment they
he'll
walk into
take
the governor's
credit
office.
for
This is a time to
it
have
or try to pretend like he did something when he literally, I don't know, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
someone who's
Like, you can take partial credit for Trump winning.
actually fought those crises, whether it's the man-made crisis coming from Washington, D.C., or whether it's the cost of living crisis that we face here at home. We need someone who's actually fought and won. Beat back Donald Trump to save the Affordable Care Act all the way to the Supreme Court. Beat back Donald Trump in preserving the DACA program for Dreamers. Been able to do that and win for the people.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, we have all heard their platform now. It's more taxes and a complete lack of responsibility. I have 33 years of dealing with the consequences of their poor decisions and of their poor policies and the Democrat agenda for the last 33 years. I'm running for Californians because Californians do deserve better. They deserve someone with honesty, transparency, integrity, and most importantly, proven leadership. If you want the status quo, keep the status quo. If you want a better California, I'm asking for your vote.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Steyer, you have 30 seconds.
There are alternatives to the standard status quo that don't include a crazy vote conspiracist idiot like you, Bianco. Everybody saw what you did with seizing those votes. It's fucked.
Raising the cost for California don't want me to be governor. I'm the change agent here, and they don't want change. And in politics, it's pretty easy to figure out who you are by seeing who opposes you and who supports you. Let me tell you who opposes me. The oil companies, PG&E, the realtors, the drug companies, Donald Trump, and the head of ICE. Let me tell you who supports me. Progressives, environmentalists, organized labor, including teachers and nurses. None of these people are fighting anybody else. No one else on this stage is having these corporate special interests oppose them. They want to stop me.
Mr.
because
Steyer,
I'm
thank
going
you.
to change
Mr. Steyer,
California.
thank you. Mr. Hilton, closing statements, you have 30 seconds.
We obviously need change in California. The system is not working. I'm the only one here who has never run for office before. I'm not part of this system. These Democrats can't get it done. Matt Mahan talks about his record in San Jose. Actually, homelessness and crime are going up. Javier Becerra talks about his time in government. He thought it was a good idea to put masks on 2-year-olds. We need real change in California. We need to think different. We need to vote different. My plan to make our state Cal-affordable is real and serious, and we can get it done if we just vote
Cal-affordable.
differently this year.
Mr. Hilton, thank you.
All right, with that wraps up the first hour of our debate tonight. We want to thank all of the candidates, first of all, for being here. We hope you will join us for another half hour of the debate, including your viewer questions. We're streaming live on your local Nexstar Station's Plus channel. You can also watch it by scanning the QR code on your screen. We will see you right back here on your digital channel in 2.5 minutes.
I could be okay either way.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, he's a Trumper at the end of the day. So he's going to say crazy shit like that.
Housing, Mr. Mahan, we're going to start with you. You have 60 seconds.
Thanks, Nick.
Cost of housing, Mr. Mahan. This is the question. What is your plan to lower the cost of housing? Mr. Mahan, we're going to start with you. You have 60 seconds.
Thanks, Nikki. In San Jose, we were approving thousands of housing units, 20,000 housing units over the last 7 years or so that weren't getting built. I led us through a process of looking at the data and recognizing that we in government are often in the way. We did hard things. We sped up permitting. We've used new technology to make it easier to apply. And most importantly, we reduced one-time fees that look good on paper, but we're blocking the very thing we need, housing and opportunity for people. We now have thousands of new units under construction. That's a template for the state. That's how we'll move forward. I know what's at stake. I grew up in a household that was paycheck to paycheck. I remember my family, my parents arguing about how to make the mortgage payment. Solving this problem is the most fundamental way to expand economic opportunity and upward mobility in California, and I will get the job done.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, same question to you. What is your plan to lower the cost of housing? You have 60 seconds.
Well, we have to give those who build the homes the incentive to do so. That means streamlining the regulations and the fees that make it impossible to believe that they can make these projects pencil out. Once we do that, we want to build smart. We want to build in the places where it makes sense. By transportation, so it's easy to get to and from work. Make it so that we don't have commutes that are hour and a half long. We want to make sure that we help those who want to buy a house get in a house. Most Californians who are renting are essentially paying a monthly mortgage, except it's called rent. I would convert them into homeowners by helping them with their down payment. We have down payment assistance programs where we will expand the opportunity for a renter to become a homeowner. And the next thing I will do is, in the first 100 days, I will make sure that we get all those projects that are essentially shovel ready, ready to go. And there are some 40,000 housing units that are shovel ready. They just need a little kick over the finish line. I would make sure we do that, whether it's a small tranche of money they need or getting rid of some of the licensing requirements they need.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, same question to you. What is your plan to lower the cost of housing? You have 60 seconds.
We're going to all be honest about the problem. The problem is California state government. California state government created this housing problem. It is not.
Here we go. Democrats. It's because the Democrats, when they're gone, everything will magically be better. Because the Democrats. Dude, this guy is a fucking brainlet. This dude has a single-digit IQ. Like a piece of wet broccoli is smarter than this guy.
That we can't afford a house. It's that builders can't afford to build a house because of the excessive regulations
Everything you hear
on our
from this
building
guy
industry,
is
along
something you
with
could just
every other
get
business
off
and
of
industry
the
in California.
Facebook
On day
Yeah.
one, I remove all of those regulations from our building industry that will allow more, as much as a third, sometimes more, depending on location, to a third of.
It's not true. You can make a general statement about anything and have it be true. That doesn't add anything. It doesn't mean anything. This is fucking nonsense. No, I'm sorry, but like the idea that it's just Democrats doesn't mean that he understands the problem at all. I agree that there are policies that Democrats have implemented that have led to part of the housing crisis. But this guy doesn't understand that. This guy does not understand any of that. He hasn't outlined even a little bit about the regulation. He hasn't named anything specifically. He's just said, it's because Democrats, it's because Democrats, it's because Democrats. I'm not going to give kudos for, I hate to fucking say it, a broken clock being right. You don't get kudos for that.
Oh, dark room.
Price of a home to be removed off of that $900,000 price tag just by getting rid of the government red tape. Instead of 3 to 5 years, it's going to take 3 to 5 months to build a house. We will encourage our builders to build. When we take the restrictions away, builders build homes. We do not have a land problem in California. We have a management problem. We have a government problem that we absolutely must take away. The restrictions, the big ones, all the regulations, but CEQA, Coastal Commission, CARB, all of those on our building industry will be removed.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Hilton, same question to you. You have 60 seconds.
Well, if San Jose is the template for housing affordability in California, God help us. It was just rated the least affordable city for housing in the world. That is completely the wrong answer. The right answer is my plan, which was the first plan that I put forward in this campaign. Number one, we have to end this outrageous hidden tax on housing. They call it impact fees. It can add up to 20% to the cost of a home. Secondly, we have to reduce the extreme environmental regulations that make it 3 or 4 times as expensive to build the exact same home in California as in neighboring states. Number three, we have to end the exploitative union lawsuits that are filed to block housing, that extract project labor agreements that make the cost so much higher. And number four, we have to end the war on single-family homes so that we can build the housing we need for young families.
But there are Democrats who understand it.
Mr. Hilton, thank you. Mr. Mahan, I'll give you 15 seconds.
But the problem, again, the problem the problem with Hilton is the fact that he's saying it and he doesn't actually understand it. He wouldn't understand how to fix it. He's just blaming the Democrats the way Trump blames the Democrats. He doesn't actually know what any of it means. Yeah. Did I say Hilton? I meant Bianco.
San Jose has been the most expensive city in the country since before I was born because of all the jobs created there. I know that because my parents had to move 50 miles away, even though my mom grew up there, just to afford to buy a home. What I did as mayor, though, was take ownership of the problem, unlike all the talk you're hearing on this stage. We reduced fees, sped up permitting, and now we have thousands of homes under construction.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Steyer, same question to you. What is your plan to lower the cost of housing? You have 60 seconds.
Look, the biggest problem in California is that Californians can't afford to live here, and the number one problem there is housing. And I've seen people who have full-time jobs who are still having to live in their car. But if we're going to solve the housing problem, and I've said we'll build 1 million units, it's not a silver bullet the way some of these people are suggesting. It's silver buckshot. Yes, we have to shorten permitting and make it less expensive. We made a first step on it last year. We'll make more. 2, we have to redo zoning so that we build denser and around public transportation. 3, We need to actually drop the cost per square foot of building. There are ways to do it. Industrial construction away from site and then putting it together on the site drops the cost per square foot by a third. And lastly, one of the biggest reasons it's hard to build houses here is the cities and counties don't want it because they can't afford to take care of the people who are in the houses. I said on day one, I'll call for a special election to close a corporate tax loophole. That will fund it. That will get the cities and counties on our side. The realtors are mad at me. They're fighting me. But that's the only way we drive down housing costs for the people of California.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Ms. Porter, same question to you. What is your plan to lower the cost of housing? You have 60 seconds.
Housing is personal to me. I've sat across from thousands of Californians who are facing eviction or foreclosure. When I served the state of California for 3 years under then Attorney General, now former Vice President Kamala Harris, and I held the big banks' feet to the fire for predatory lending. I've also questioned CEOs of big banks about how the huge slice that housing takes out of their paycheck. Housing has been my #1 issue since I launched this race, and I have the deepest background in housing policy of any candidate on this stage. The key is to build faster. If we built at the same speed in California as states like Colorado, we could take 10 or 20% off the cost of housing. That's real money back in families' pockets. It's not a couple bucks, it's hundreds of dollars. I just want to comment, Mr. Becerra, you have all these lovely plans, but there are never any numbers, any revenue plan, any details, anything that pushes on the status quo. It's just all do, but the how, the why, the how much, it's all missing.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Becerra, I'll give you 15 seconds to respond to Ms. Porter's comments.
That's very rich to hear from someone who's never had to actually run a government. I have had to balance 4 budgets over the course of my time as Secretary of Health and Human Services. A budget, by the way, that was larger than the budget of the state of California. When I was Attorney General of the state of California, I had a fight, whether it was a corporate attempt to try to take advantage of Californians or whether it was the Trump administration. I got in and I filed lawsuits. They weren't frivolous lawsuits. I won most of my cases because I knew how to put down the details and the facts. So it's easy to say you haven't done this. It's easier to prove that you actually have.
May I respond? Mr. Becerra, Ms. Porter, we have to move on. We have a lot of questions that our viewers have for us next, and Frank is going to move on to those because we have a lot to cover in little time.
We want to turn to some viewer questions that we assigned at random to each of you in a random draw. Mr. Becerra, we're actually going to begin with you. Ashley from Paris wants to know what is one specific cost, gas, groceries, utilities, childcare, that you will lower in your first year, and exactly how will you do it? You have 30 seconds.
Actually, one of the things that I will do immediately is I will freeze utility rates and I will freeze home insurance policy premiums because I believe it is time that Californians had an understanding of why so many of them are paying so much for both of those charges that they have when they have a home. It is time for us to get behind the curtain and understand why these industries are charging Californians so much and in some cases dropping Californians from their insurance policy without explanation, charging twice as much. It is time for us to freeze those so Californians benefit.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, you get the next question. This is Greg from Placerville who wants to know what is your position on automatic license plate readers, flock safety systems, and broader issues of mass surveillance? You have 30 seconds.
So I'm a huge proponent of flock camera systems, and not flock, but the type that the ALPRs for law enforcement. They have been a game changer for law enforcement. It's not about the misconception. I want to ensure him, we don't know you're driving the car from those license plate readers. They read license plates, that's it. And we are able to find criminals who use vehicles for that.
Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Hilton, you get the next question. This is Carlos from Los Angeles who wants to know, what are you going to do for California schools? You have 30 seconds.
It's an absolute scandal that we have just under half of our students can read at grade level. For math, it's 35%. Here's the plan. We're going to learn from what works in other states and around the world. The best way to teach kids to read, phonics. We're going to have that in every school. The most important thing is that you learn to read by the end of 3rd grade. Just as Mississippi has done, we're going to make sure we're going to give you help over the summer if you can't. But if you don't meet the test, you repeat the grade, and then you can move forward. And we're going to hold teachers and schools accountable for their performance.
Thank you very much. Nikki?
Mr. Steyer, Sophia from Folsom wants to know, what is your stance on remote work? You have 30 seconds.
So remote work is enabling people not to make these huge commutes. And it is a way for us to save money. It is a way to keep people off the roads. So I am a supporter of remote work, period. But let me say this as someone who has run lots of organization and lots of teams. There's reasons to be in the office that involve human interaction, that involve mentoring, that involve the growth of young people. So when you're running an organization, yes, you have to take into account costs, but more than that, you have to account for the human growth of a culture and a team.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Ms. Porter, Toby from Costa Mesa wants to know, do you agree with schools not notifying parents if their child identifies as a different gender? You have 30 seconds.
It is between a parent and a child when a child chooses to have that conversation. The job of our educators is to teach them to read by 3rd grade. That is a really important benchmark to help them make the jump from Algebra 1 to Algebra 2, which opens the door to higher paying jobs. These are conversations for kids and parents to have with each other and their healthcare providers. This is not a role for schools to be policing personal decisions.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, John Carlo from Los Angeles asks this. How would you communicate with Donald Trump if he attacks you directly or policies valued in California? You have 30 seconds.
Well, just as I've done as mayor of San Jose, when the Trump administration threatens California's people, our funding, our values, I'll fight back. We'll use the courts. In San Jose, we've sued this administration over a dozen times. We've funded legal services for our immigrant neighbors. We have used every tool at our disposal. But I will also find ways to invite federal agencies to help us rebuild LA, reduce fire risk. We need a partnership, and we need to find common ground with this administration on certain issues.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Frank?
We'd like to move on to our next question. Many Californians cannot get home insurance anymore, or their premiums have skyrocketed. Insurance companies blame wildfire risk and catastrophic losses. Many have left the state. California's FAIR Plan, a last resort option, is being swamped and is becoming a crisis for the state. Mr. Bianco, this round begins with you. What is your plan to attract private insurance companies back to California? You have 60 seconds.
Again, we're going to be honest about the problem. The problem is our California state government, is our California state regulations that are affecting the insurance companies. Various regulations affecting the insurance companies, but particularly, they told us why they were leaving. They told Governor Newsom for 5 years in a row that they were going to leave if he did not change the environmental policies and protections that prevented our fire agencies from creating defensible space around our homes, our cities, and our buildings. They told him they were going to lose cities and they couldn't afford to cover it, so they were going to have to leave. So the answer is remove the regulations, let the fire agencies create that defensible space. We are being absolutely controlled by environmental activism in this state that runs every single regulatory board, and as governor, I will remove that special interest from California state government.
Mr. Bianco, thank you for that. Mr. Hilton, what is your plan to attract private insurance companies back to California? You have 60 seconds.
We have to be clear about why they left. They left because of Democrat policies and wrong-headed regulation. Now, some of those mistakes have been corrected. The ability for insurance companies to price in future risk, the ability of insurance companies to account for reinsurance costs. But we still have wrong regulation. And this is the three-point plan that I've announced to fix this absolutely massive problem that is crushing so many families across California. Number one, we've got to get people off the FAIR Plan. It was designed for about 100,000 people. Now you've got over 600,000. We've got to work proactively to get those people onto commercial insurance. Number two, we have to stick to the regulatory framework that was in the original proposition that set up the insurance department. 60 days to approve rate changes. Sometimes now it's over a year. And number three, we have to stop these nuisance lawsuits, often filed by private equity from out of state, that are increasing the cost of insurance.
All right, Mr. Hilton, thank you. Mr. Steyer, what is your plan to attract private insurance companies back to California? You have 60 seconds.
Well, skyrocketing home insurance is one of the huge problems facing California homeowners. And it's a result of catastrophic fires and houses being burnt down, and therefore insurance companies wanting to get paid for that risk. What California needs to do is reduce that risk. We need to reduce the risk of catastrophic fire. What does that look like? On a macro basis, it looks like controlled burns, reducing dry timber. On a micro basis, it means hardening houses, keeping vegetation 5 feet away, and other things. We can reduce the risk of houses burning in catastrophic fire by 90%. The point is going to be, at that point, we need the insurance companies to start writing home insurance based on the reduced risk. And it's the job of the governor to insist that they take into account the reduced risk. Insurance companies are lazy. They like to drive by a house and make a decision. When we're hardening houses and reducing risk by 90%, the governor's job is to make sure that they do the work, that they take it into account, and that housing insurance goes way down.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Nikki?
Ms. Porter, what is your plan to attract private insurance companies back to California? You have 60 seconds.
First, I just want to acknowledge that so many who have been affected by wildfires have not received the federal aid that California deserves from the federal government because of Donald Trump. I also want to say, as a consumer protection advocate, I would absolutely hold insurers' feet to the fire to make sure they pay out damages when homes have been burned. I think the solution is to have more insurance companies and more competition, but they're going to do that when we have reduced wildfire risk. We cannot afford to not act to reduce wildfire risk. We all lose. Families who lose their homes more than others when we face these kinds of catastrophic wildfires. So fighting climate change and fighting wildfire risk is ultimately how you reduce the number of people who are forced onto a FAIR Plan that is unstable and not financially sustainable for taxpayers.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, same question to you. What is your plan to attract private insurance companies back to California? You have 60 seconds.
Well, Nikki, I've walked through the Palisades and Altadena with families who have lost everything, and I've seen firsthand what's broken. As governor, I will take responsibility for ensuring that we better manage our public lands. We have to reduce the fire risk at the edge of our urban areas so we're not putting homeowners at risk. And when you have those catastrophic fires, it pushes up costs for everyone. We need to bring the private insurance market back, force them to compete with one another on value, allow them to appropriately price risk. And when they play games, as we've heard in some cases, of switching adjusters and dragging out the process of paying out claims, they must be held accountable by the state, and I'll make sure we do that.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, what is your plan to attract private insurance companies back to the state of California? You have 60 seconds.
I won't be as lenient as some of the responses you've heard. I believe that it's time that we get behind the curtain and find out how these insurance companies are operating, because there are still people in Altadena and Pacific Palisades who have not been paid on their claims from back in January 2025. That is ridiculous. Every month they paid their premiums. Some people had never filed a claim, yet when they finally filed this claim for these wildfires, they still can't get an answer to the question, how much they get and when they'll get it. That is not right. We should hold their feet to the fire. I'll make sure that we take on all the issues of wildfire mitigation. Sure, you have to harden your home. We have to make sure we don't have developers building in high-risk areas. We'll do all those things. But first and foremost, insurers owe those consumers, those people who paid their premiums, responses. They paid their premiums. They are owed a response on their claims. It's ridiculous that people have had to wait more than a year. That is not the way you treat a customer.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Frank.
We're going to move on to our next topic, and that is social media and our children. A California jury found Meta and Google negligent, ordering them to pay damages for designing addictive social media that contributed to mental health issues. Would you support a law that bans social media usage for kids under 16 years of age? This is going to go to each one of you. Mr. Hilton, you will go first. You have 30 seconds.
Yeah. So as the father of 2 teenage children, I know this issue very well. But actually, it's an issue that I've been thinking about and advocating on for many, many years. 11 years ago, in my book, More Human, 2015, that was published, I made the argument that it's not just the apps, it's not just the platforms, it's the screens themselves, and that we should set a social norm that children under 16 should not have a smartphone. That is my position now. I think that every parent in their heart knows that it's wrong. Kids do not need smartphones, and we shouldn't allow it.
So just to clarify, though, on the social
I mean,
media
like,
side,
I can
yes or
see
no
the
banning
argument
it
for
on
that,
kids
and
under
I might
16?
even agree,
I think it misses
but
the point, honestly. I
that's
think
not
that we've got to get to the heart of the
gonna get you
problem, and that's the
elected.
devices and the screens.
All right, Mr. Hilton, thank you. Mr. Steyer, would you support a law that bans social media usage for kids under 16 years of age? You have 30 seconds.
Yes, I would. I've said that publicly. I think it's been clear for a long time that young people have significant mental health issues as a result of social media. And we have counted on the companies to police themselves, and that has definitely failed. And let me say that as AI is here, artificial intelligence, that is something else which very much threatens the safety and health of our children. And that is something which absolutely threatens them. And young people are addicted to their artificial intelligent friends more than their real friends. And so we are going to have to regulate these companies and have the courage to do it.
Mr. Steyer, thank you. Ms. Porter, would you support a law that bans social media usage for kids under 16? You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, as a mom of 3 teenagers, I will say that every kid is different. I definitely have a kid, I won't name him here, who's doing a good job with moderating social media, using it occasionally and in ways that have been helpful. I have another kid who's constantly told to put her device down, and when needed, I take it away. I do think we need to hold companies accountable when their products produce harm. If they're producing addiction, if they're failing to moderate inappropriate conduct, then we absolutely should hold them accountable. But those problems affect both kids particularly, but also adults.
And just to clarify, and forgive me if I missed it, but hold accountable or ban the usage for kids under 16?
I would not ban under 16. I might consider a different ban, but I also want to recognize that as a parent, it's an opportunity for families to make choices and have conversations about technology that these kids will see their whole lives.
Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, would you support a law that bans social media usage for kids under 16 years of age? You have 30 seconds.
What I would do is require parental consent for children under 16 to be able to use social media. I would also ban cell phone use during the academic day in public schools all the way through high school. I think it's destructive to give kids products that their brains aren't fully developed and able to use safely. And so I would put those restrictions in place. I think parents should have ultimate control in this situation. My wife and I are raising 2 little kids. They're 8 and 6 years old. We limit screen time.
Mr. Mahan, same clarification. You say require parental consent. Are you yes or no on banning it under the age of 16?
The reason I would require parental consent under 16 is that there are lots of educational tools that may have social components that might connect students. There could be applications that make sense, but parents should have control over those decisions.
Right. Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, would you support a law that bans social media usage for kids under 16? 30 seconds.
Addiction is dangerous. Yes, I would absolutely work with legislators to make sure we can enact such a law. Kids have died as a result of their use of social media. Kids are going into this spiral downhill where they're not doing anything but playing with their phone. It is time for us to act. And I will tell you, as a former Attorney General, I will enforce that law to make sure we are able to manage our children's development over the lifespan. And what I will tell you is this, we also have to help those families that are trying to manage their kids' use of these types of devices.
Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, would you support a law that bans social media usage for kids under 16? You have 30 seconds.
No, that's up to their parents. I think it's interesting that drugs create mental illness too. And yet California Democrats have made drugs legal in California. But now we're going to ban social media because it creates a mental health issue for kids under 16. We know it creates mental health issues for adults. Social media is not a good thing for us to be spending 12 hours a day on. But it is up to parents what they want to do with their kids. It's not up to the government to tell them what their kids are going to do. And I agree, there are far too many educational benefits to these platforms than there are dangers, but it's up to parents.
All right, Mr. Bianco, thank you. Nikki?
Time's winding down, so as we like to say in TV, we're going to switch gears and ask a bit of a lighter question so people watching can get to know you on more of a personal level. Keep your answers a bit short here, but since we're on a streaming platform now, we want to know, what was the last streaming show that you watched? Mr. Steyer, we'll start with you.
I think the last streaming show I saw was probably Marshall's.
Marshall, streaming show, Marshall, okay.
Yep.
Ms. Porter, last streaming show that you watched.
I took a lot of heat from my kids for this, but I was watching Heated Rivalry.
Okay. Ms. Porter, thank you. Mr. Mahan, last streaming show that you watched.
It's the one with Kerry Russell. I think it's called The Diplomat or something. The Diplomat. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mr. Mahan, thank you. Mr. Becerra, last streaming show that you watched.
I wish I could tell you that I have time to watch streaming shows. I can't tell you that I'm much of a TV watcher.
All right, Mr. Becerra, thank you. Mr. Bianco, last streaming show that you watched.
I don't stream and I don't watch TV.
Okay, Mr. Bianco, thank you. Mr. Hilton, last streaming show that you watched.
We're in the middle of it right now, Reacher. One of my sons really enjoys that, probably more than the rest of us in the family, but it's been good fun to watch together.
Mr. Hilton, thank you.
Thanks to all of you. Thanks to our candidates for being here this evening. And we want to say that, oh, I'm sorry, did we not ask someone?
Yes.
Okay, we're
Everybody got their answer.
I thought we missed someone. We want to make sure we know what you're streaming. That wraps up our debate for tonight. We want to invite you to stay tuned.
Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, we'll get our fill of the lightning.
Hmm.
By the end of it. Yeah, I gotta get everything again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I'm trying to get struck.
Let's see.
Oh, I don't care. Okay. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I pissed that thing off last second. Yeah, I'll bring
Interesting, Rooney. I'm surprised that you picked Porter at number 2.
Stacks up and stacks. Let's see. I'm gonna do, I guess, the Sparrow and the Torrente. Yeah. No, it's a 1. Oh, okay. Right, I forgot to upgrade. Ew. Okay, the Pharaoh is repaired, I believe. Thanks. Okay. Oh, shit. I just got an arpeggio 1.
Pickup. These are places. Words pronounced different ways as proper nouns. Yep.
I think that's what the Pharaoh.
So not places, but proper nouns. Yeah,
Weird.
That's fair. This looks like a taxi in Argentina.
I did. Yeah. You're right. Look at all those tickets.
Policial de la
Getting
Nación.
some powerful blues.
Pretty sure this is Buenos Aires.
Kettle 3.
Because, like, yeah, this is what the taxis look like there. This is 80s, right? Bombas, definitely. It's just gotta be Buenos Aires, right? It's embarrassing if it's not, but just give me those BA vibes.
And then I have your processor.
Somewhere down here. So
Lots
like
of
80.
Grenades.
98, damn. But I was close
Bandage.
location wise. 98. Obviously, this is 90s, not 80s.
Fantastic. I have 3. So, I do. So now, I just filled the charger. Happy.
Interesting.
Oh. I cannot do it right now. Yeah. Okay. Guilty as charged. Oh, I need to make ammo.
Can't tell if this is New York or Chicago. It's New York vibes, but
Okay. That's exactly.
I can never be sure.
Yeah, what I'm hoping to do. That's cool.
Parisian. It's the statue.
Oh, I got 5 of them.
Seriously, Bruni, for real, they're being stubborn and it's really
Okay.
stupid.
I will allow it. Thanks.
I am too, but it's better than a MAGA, I guess. And we'll just get rid of them when
Oh.
they make dumb decisions afterwards. But
11.
yeah, I did not like that performance.
Okay. Yeah.
From Sire at all.
Alright, I'll play a bunch. Gotta do that before I start working. Tuesday. I'm excited. It's a long story, but we can talk about it sometime. Yeah, maybe over some fine art.
Where is this? Does anyone know? Is
Gonna see if
Daniel
I
here?
can
Can you tell me if
convince
this
them
is
to come
Chicago?
with me. Be good for gas prices too. Company's always good. But... Plus, I went to a really good one in Anacortes and met an artist that's gonna be there at this one. Yeah, like to reconnect with them. It was at a art festival in Anacortes, Washington. Yeah, Anacortes. Oh. So cute.
I don't know. Fuck it.
Okay. So I do that. I'm always on the wrong
What,
side.
this the 40s, the 50s?
Panicking.
47? It was New York.
Just the power stuff. Oh, you want the processor here.
Alright, this is all in Russian.
Oh. I could. Where'd it go? Oh. Here it is. Nice.
Let's try the Moscow airport.
Okay, here's your thing. On the ground.
2 years off. Oh, in Mongolia. Damn.
Thanks. Very kind.
Oh, the new house. About how it's on. Yeah. Betty.
Oh.
This is like.
Oh. I guess we need those.
3 years off. Not far. Nice. I missed my 40,000 though. Sucks. Turkey, I think. Yeah. In like the 60s, maybe.
Oh. Fantastic.
76. Well, not my best.
Wow.
Not my best. All right, dudes. Been fun. I'll see you all on Friday. On Friday, I guess I'll have like a longer early one because I have stuff to do in the evening. So yeah, but I will see you guys all on Friday. Everybody have a beautiful time.